What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Snap Decisions. I am your Snap DJ, your host with the most, and I am here with Lauren Whatevs, if I can get this background back on. Oh, God. Hold on one second. As you can see, I'm not used to using the YouTube. There we are. Okay. There she is, Lauren Whatevs. Welcome, Lauren. It's nice to have you back. Lauren has been on my show many, many times, and it's great to have you back again. How are you?
I have been on many times, but it's been a while, so it's exciting to be back. Always glad to talk some Snap. I'm doing pretty well.
That's cool.
I might have brought this up on a previous time, but it's always funny listening to that intro music at one-time speed, because when I'm listening to a podcast, I listen like much closer to 2 or 3 times. Yeah. So I was like, oh, this song is completely different.
I've gotten that from you actually now too, because now whenever I'm listening to podcasts too, I do the same thing. I set the speed higher. But yeah, a lot of times, I mean, I know I can ramble in this thing. I did one today and it was almost like 2 hours. I'm like, oh my God, I really have to stop doing that. Because it's like I get to rambling about stuff and I'm like, yeah, I feel bad then for the poor people that are listening to the show and they have to go through 2 hours of content. But then again, like you were saying, with the fast forward button, you can make that a lot quicker. So yeah, that's cool. Lauren, of course, is on her own show, obviously part of the Snap Judgments, a league of podcasts as well. Snap on This hosts that show along with Benjamin Roller and Ree. So make sure you guys check that out. It's every Friday. You just had your anniversary, what, 50 shows, yeah?
Yeah, awesome. I think our latest one's 61, but yeah, we hit a year. That's I
awesome.
Can't believe how fast that went.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, I agree. It's insane how fast the time goes. You had a guest on there too. I think it was this week. Yeah, was it Scott that was on there?
Yeah, Scott from Snap Fan covered for Ree on short notice. It was fun. It was different, but it was fun.
Yeah, it's cool to get different perspectives about things and stuff like that. So yeah, that's awesome. Lauren, of course, is the math expert for Snap that everybody goes to when they have a math issue or something in the game that requires math. You became like the math person of the game, which is
true.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I saw you guys had KM on your show. That must have been fun.
That was fun, and we had him on mostly to play a game because we were doing anniversary celebrations, and we'd already kind of filled up a bunch of time.
Yep.
Like we had Mottles come. He's part of the team that runs the Golden Gauntlet.
Oh yeah. Yep.
He came on and DM'd a RPG for us. So it was like we already have like 4 hours of content. Like let's just play a game with KM, and we did, and it was fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, check it out, guys. It's a fun show. They always have a lot of fun on there. The title tussle thing is hilarious. I love listening to that. But yeah, check it out if you didn't already, obviously. And then of course Glazer's podcast too. Every single, what does he do? Friday, Saturday now? I think it's
Saturdays. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Saturdays.
And he always has some cool guests on there, good players from the game and stuff like that you can listen to. And so yeah, check that out as well. And I'll still mention Kier. Obviously, Kier's going to be on my show shortly, probably next week at some point, sometime. But of course, Kier Nimbus taking a little break from the game. He has personal stuff going on that he has to take care of, and obviously is more important. But yeah, hopefully he'll come back sometime. But he's coming on the show, and I've got Burb coming on again as well. So that'll be. Yeah. Burb's a cool dude, so that'll be fun to do as well. So, but yeah, Lauren and I are going to talk about some stuff. We're going to data mines. First, I'm going to talk about the state of the game a little bit. Then we'll go into data mines for December, which is now Weapon X. So I'm sure a lot of people will be excited about that. Another Destroy season that it's kind of centric Destroy, but it looks like Destroy combination discard. Which is kind of neat. So we'll talk about that. And then we're going to go into something that both of us are pretty fond of, and that's Nintendo games. I know Lauren's a big Nintendo fan, so I thought, what a better way to go back and revisit some of my Nintendo favorites from the past year. So we're going to do that as well. But first off, Lauren, how is everything going with you? Are you still, I know you're involved in the game still and stuff like that, and you're playing the game still. But how's it going for you lately? Are you enjoying the game as much as you were before, or has it changed at all for you in any way?
I'm having fun with it lately. I've kind of changed my relationship with the game a few times. Most recently, it's the main thing I do is I chase silly clips.
Yep.
And I have found that to really help my emotional relationship with the game. Because if I'm trying to be competitive, it can be really frustrating to go on a long losing streak.
Yeah.
But like if I'm going for a silly combo, I fully expect that I'm going to have squirrels and Cosmo and all kinds of things ruin my day, and as soon as they do, I just retreat. It's fine. It's no big deal. We're on to the next one. Eventually, we're gonna land the cool combo. Yeah. I mean, I still have to take like the climb to infinite somewhat seriously, and like limited time game modes, which seem to be becoming even more fast and furious. We got 2 weeks of them this month. Yeah. 2 separate ones. And you have to take those somewhat seriously because there's cards in there.
Yeah, that's true. What are your thoughts about if I'm going to ask you? So if you had to rank your favorites of the limited game modes, give me your favorite and give me your least, and I'll do the same. Mine have changed along the way. Now I'll tell you, like you, because I know you were making comments about Deadpool, about the diner. I loved the diner the last time too, but I mean, it was like you said, it's overly generous. So I don't know if we're going to see that again. But I do agree with your point though about that becoming or something similar to that becoming a game mode, because I do agree with you that this game I think really needs, and it's funny because I've been hearing from some of the people that listen to my show about it too. It really needs like a mode where you can just like who cares. It's like a who cares mode.
Explicitly.
Yeah.
This is casual mode.
Yeah. I agree. And but what ones are you finding to be like? It's funny because my tastes have changed with it too. And the one what's the one that was just out? The one that we were playing
Sanctum
through
Showdown?
Yeah, and now I don't like that much. Oh. I'm like, I don't like it as much as I used to, and now like it's changed around a little bit for me. But yeah, like what are like your favorites of those, and then obviously if you have a least favorite one as well.
Yeah, and I know there are people who are exactly opposite from me, and so when I'm going to talk bad about high voltage in a second, it's nothing against the players who like high voltage. It's just not for me, and I'm glad that there's a mode that clicks for other people where that's their favorite mode. So yes, high voltage is my least favorite. It feels extremely meaningless to me. I think part of it is because the way that it runs is like 95% of the points you get is from missions, not from winning. So you don't have to win at all and you'll complete the mode. Which does seem more casual, but I don't know, something about the shorter game mode and it just being who can do the biggest combos, and it just feels like the most luck based. I don't know. It's like too casual for me. I want a casual unranked mode, but it like goes a little too far where like the game almost doesn't matter anymore.
Yep.
But the way that I make that fun for me is I make it a game for myself to knock out all 3 missions as soon as possible. Like, is there a way I can build a deck that can work on all 3 at the same time? That's how So every single 8 hours, I'm building a new deck just for high voltage, and so that's how like I've extracted some extra fun from it. But I don't know. I like all the other ones.
Okay.
My favorite is, I think I would currently say Sanctum Showdown. I really like how tactical it makes the game and how different it feels. I know some people feel like it snowballs too fast, but maybe it depends on what deck you're playing. I feel like you can have some really big comebacks sometimes. Like I've played a lot of Torch this time, and I was having games where I was coming back from like a 4-12 score, and I would win the game. It just takes a little while to get the Torch going,
Yep.
But yeah, Grand Arena also super fun and very approachable.
Yeah. I like Grand Arena a lot. I'm excited that that's coming back. I think it's coming back next month for Spider Season, so that should be fun.
I think it's like next week.
Oh, is it next week? Okay, yeah, you might be right. Yeah, you're probably right.
It's next week, and that's where we get Zombie Century and introducing a few new champions, which I think is going to be really fun. Every time it comes back, is there'll be new champions.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Magic in a way. The online Magic, the way they do some of the stuff in there. And but yeah, I like that mode too. It's just cool how they're doing it. It's very different. And with the champions and stuff, like you said, it just adds that extra kind of thing, and has people play differently and stuff. So, but yeah, so if there was anything, and I'm sure I've asked you this probably countless times that you've been on, but I recently asked my audience this too, and it was interesting some of the answers I got. Obviously, they're not doing roadmaps anymore, and in a way, I kind of don't blame them, because it sets up expectations that sometimes you just can't live up to. But is there anything still that's kind of out there that you would really like to see come to this game? Not necessarily maybe even cards, but just kind of like things that would make your life easier in the game, or just like a certain cosmetic or something like that. But is there anything out there that you said? Because I got a lot of interesting answers, and most of them came up with like the game board, which I thought was a crazy one, but I get it. And then deck slots. Like, my God, how hard is it to put extra deck slots in the game?
You'd think it would just be bumping up an integer, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Chase actually just had a post on Twitter asking for people to talk about their quality of life updates they'd like to see. Okay. So that seems kind of adjacent to what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think extra deck slots, yes, but make dedicated deck slots for each game mode. I hate Sanctum comes back 3 months later. I'm like, wait, what Sanctum decks did I like? I have to go look them up every single time. Grand Arena, that was one thing it did well, is it had a unique deck slot for each of the champions.
Yep.
I'm curious to see if it'll save the ones that I had left behind. I would love to see them eliminate boosters. I don't think they ever will, but I think that they're pointless. And it could be so cool. They could be like, hey, we cut 99% of the currencies out of our game.
Yep.
I just think boosters are super obnoxious, and I know they're like important filler, and I'd be fine if they solve the filler problem by just spreading out the credits and tokens more.
Yep.
Emote management. Every time I get a new emote and it breaks my muscle memory, and I'm trying to like fist bump somebody, and instead I like Colossus flex them, and I'm like, I feel so bad.
Yep. I've done the same thing. They should give you like you said, like just have you be able to manage it and give you enough slots that you can put in like 5 or 6 or however many that you normally would use, instead of just having but yeah, you're right. I hate that. I hate having to scroll through screens to try to find the one I want. And usually that one I want is all the way on the last screen. And by the time I get to do it, it's like, it's way too late anyway.
It's bad.
Yeah. I agree. Now, how about they finally just improved the banana conundrum, at least a little bit anyway. But I mean, man, that took long enough. Cosmetics, I know people can kind of take it or leave it. I kind of enjoy it. I like the whole split thing and having kind of like unique cards and stuff like that. I've always kind of liked that. But what do you think now? Obviously, that they changed that. Has it? I know that I went through a couple of newer splits that I got. I really didn't see. I mean, it was nice not getting bananas, but I still didn't see a lot of improvement, like where it's going back to the kind of the way it used to be, where you were getting the ink stuff and then you get the gold stuff, and it just seems like it's still off. That they still have to improve that a little bit, but yeah, what's your thought on like cosmetic-y stuff?
So mostly they did just take the 5 bad ones out of the pool, and that like very slightly, because they have 50 different finishes and flares. They took 5 out, and so the other 45 all got a very slight boost. But it's still totally out of whack. It still is harder to get ink, gold, and crackle as your character mastery level goes up, which is dumb. Like, I know people who avoid variants because they want to keep their level low to keep the ink chances higher. Like, it's really like a contrary system to what they should want.
Yeah.
So I think they need to add some kind of targeting, because it can't just be make ink and gold more common. Because what if there's a player who likes, I don't know, the new metallic gold or black prism or frosted glass? Like, if somebody else has one that's their favorite isn't ink or gold, like you have to make it so that each player can kind of transform it their way.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think splitting's fun. Variants, I will grab variants for cards I really love. I try to be good with my resources, though, so I am not super spendy on variants like some people are. Yeah, I would love to see new cosmetics types come, like a game board, or let me color my nameplate, or new border types for avatars. Like anything that lets me express myself, I think is fun.
Yeah, and that's kind of the answer I got when I asked the people that listen about it too. It's like, I want to kind of make the game a little more for me. Like it's just, just make it a little more personal, and that's kind of, you've seen that in almost every game that you play that's out there. But I think that's a great idea. Make it a little more your own. As far as variants and stuff go, I kind of like that they stuck the that they give you the option to buy the old Spotlight variants and stuff now with your tokens, because I usually hover around, even after buying the packs, I hover around 35 to 40K tokens usually, which I guess I'm lucky with that. But and now if I see something and basically all I'm doing now is if I see a card I don't have a variant for, which there are a good amount still that I don't, I'll just grab it just because, I don't have a variant for this card, and I'll grab the Spotlight variant or something if it's not so bad. So, but yeah, like, we're in year 3. So are you, obviously being a gamer, are you kind of surprised that it's made it as far as it has? Because we've gone through some pitfalls in this game. There's been ups and downs, and obviously I heard you talking just about statistics and things like that, and obviously we could see with the bots, the amount of bots that are in the game and stuff now is obviously the amount of players dipped down. So does it kind of surprise you that it's made? Mobile games, I'm not sure exactly what the shelf life is. You might know what that is better than I do, but I've seen mobile games that are gone within 2 years. But obviously a Marvel IP helps it. But what are your thoughts on on the state of the game? I know there's some people too complaining about getting repeat cards, saying, "Oh, we're just getting too many." The Fantastic Four was all repeats. Now we're getting this.
Fantastic,
right? Yeah. Now we're going to get another Wolverine from Weapon X. So it's but see, from that standpoint of it, I look at that as like, okay, and I get it. You get a game like a Spider-Man game where you could change skins and you could just play that character, but he just has different costumes. You can't really do that in Snap. So, and there are so many versions of these characters that it's insane. So there's really not much you can do other than to make those characters, just give them different powers in the game. But yeah, like just generally, what are your thoughts on where the game is at, and then obviously, what kind of future do you think it has, especially if they kind of stay status quo and they don't give any more modes or anything like that?
I think the game has a bright future. Will continue to grow. They've said before, and this was early, like this is within the first few months of the game, they said that their goal was for it to last 10 years. I think it's very realistic that it could, right? Mm-hmm. You look at the lifespan on Hearthstone, but Brode's previous project, it's probably at 10 years by now, probably older. Yep. I think it's closer to 15, but I could be totally wrong. And, of course, the Marvel IP goes far. I know you've given an example before of a Marvel mobile game you played that died pretty young.
Yes. Not even 7 months. I think it was 6 or 7 months.
Was it like Battle Lines? I can't remember.
Battle Lines, it was called. Yeah, the only thing I really remember about it was it's almost like you played on a tic-tac-toe board. And you had cards. So it was a card game. But the cards you'd play a card down, and then your character would kind of jump off the card and go on the board. And so it was almost they would fight each other, and then you'd make lines together. And if you got let's say you got a Thanos, and then you got maybe like a couple of his, if you got a couple other bad guys in the same line, they'd add the points together. And then if your opponent didn't have that, you'd like that many points, you'd win that line, and that's kind of how it went. It was an interesting game, but it is a money grab, no doubt about it. Was a money grab, and then they got out of Dodge.
Yeah.
So,
I think so. So it's very normal for a live service game to die off after the first year or two, and not to die, but to like that first swell. It's gonna go down. It's gonna have a much smaller player base on year 3 than on year 1. That's super normal. But at some point, you get to your core players, and it's not shrinking as rapidly anymore. Yep. I think like the stuff with Kid Omega and with the TikTok outage, I think that just kind of sped that along, but it would have happened anyway.
Yeah.
I do think they're struggling to figure out how to monetize the game still. Like, we've had the system reworked a few times, and kind of like you mentioned, you said that your tokens are staying pretty even. Mine are too. Mine are around 140,000. Just I hoarded keys before because that system scared me. And but like, we've been in snap packs now for what? Like, I think it's been 6 months ish.
Yeah, it's been a while already.
And I'm basically at the same token balance I was before, and I'm only buying the premium the premium pass and the super premium pass.
Yeah,
so I'm only buying season passes, $20 a month, and I'm staying even. Like, I don't think that's quite what they want, and I wouldn't be surprised to see more changes coming.
Yeah.
And that's such a hard thing. Like, I do not envy their position, both solving the problem and then also communicating to players like, we have to tighten the screws a little bit because,
yeah. I mean, look, ultimately it's a business. They got to make money. I mean, that's the whole point of it. And that IP is not cheap. Right. So they've got to feed back into that whole Disney thing and stuff. But yeah, no, I'm still finding enjoyment out of it. I'm trying to. I've heard the perspective from you guys on your show and other people that I've been listening to, and I'm just trying to make it a little more where like you're doing with yourself. You're having more fun with it because you're doing the clips thing and things like that. And I think that's really something that people kind of have to do a little bit. Sure, you can do the ladder thing, get to where you're going and everything like that, to where you want to. But after that, it is best in these kind of things to try to lay back and try to just have fun with it and just, and do that kind of thing. Don't make it into a job or a chore, because if you do that, it's like you're going to hate it. It's just how it goes.
So fast.
Yeah, you will. Yeah. Yep. How about there was an outage again? I had no idea. I'm trying to play and I'm like, what is going on? What did I do? I got the Wolverine card, the signature card, because I saw Burbs comment about it. So I'm like, okay. I went and I got it. I went back into the game. I tried to get a match, and all of a sudden it kicked me out. And it said, nope, matchmaking not available, blah, blah, blah. Kicked me out again. I'm like, oh no. Did I use that code and I shouldn't have? Because I remember they had it early. So then I'm thinking it was me.
Yeah.
And this was really late at night. Like I was up until like 3:00 in the morning for whatever reason. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So I went into the Discord and I'm talking and I'm like, and thank God Safety Blade was there. And he's like, oh no, it's the game. And I'm like, oh, phew. I was like, thinking I did something to screw up the game. I'm like, oh man. But yeah, the outage thing was interesting.
That's the wildest thing about having so much of the internet on Microsoft servers and on Amazon servers, and it's like if one of them goes down, it takes out half the internet.
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't know. When I heard that described, and they said, "Oh, it was Amazon," I'm like, "The hell does Amazon have to do with Snap and all this stuff?" But yeah, when I read about it, I'm like, "Wow, that's scary." Like one little thing like that can just affect.
Everybody's doing their cloud compute and their cloud storage.
Yep. Yeah, one thing like that can affect so much. That's insane. But my place of business, I work at Staples, and they started doing Amazon returns, and I'm like, oh God, it's like every single day lines to the back of the store. I'm like, oh man, Jeff Bezos, man, he's making money. That guy's making money. So, but
hand over fist.
Oh man, no doubt. So, but yeah, look, I think that let's talk about this season. So, what's your opinion on the zombie season so far? I was kind of like, I'm kind of mad on it so far. And I usually like the Marvel zombie stuff, but I think that they really missed the boat with it, because I get it. They had they put out the last 4 episodes of the series and stuff like that, but that was really popular. Like when zombies were popular, which was back like when Walking Dead was on and all that other stuff. And now it's like, I love the Halloween season they did when they had Man Thing, when they had Werewolf by Night, like, because to me that's
Me too. That was such a good season.
Oh my gosh, Elsa Bloodstone was in that and everything. I love that because I thought, you know what? Yeah, like make different Halloween themed cards, monster cards and stuff, but leaving it to just this one genre. And to me, at least how I've seen it, I've been playing like an anti-zombie deck. So basically, I'm playing with Shadow King. I'm playing with Cosmic Ghost Rider, and it's like it just seems like it's so easy to just beat it. And so I don't know. I don't know if it improved or not. I really haven't played it much. Probably since maybe not this week, but the week prior. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the season so far? And like I said, I don't know. I just think to me, even zombie movies and stuff like that, they came out with that new 28 Days Later movie that didn't do that well at the bottom. I think we're kind of past zombies at this point. I just don't think they're big anymore.
Yeah. I think you can always recycle a classic monster and make it interesting if you put some twist on it.
Oh, yeah.
But I agree. In general, zombies, not a super appealing theme to me. I would much rather see a dedicated spooky season that I'm sure there are tons of monsters they can lean into. Or like there's a character, All Hallows Eve, who literally uses like Halloween masks to transform and use their powers. Like, come on, that would be such a cool character to have in the game. Or even like characters who are just a little spooky, like a Goblin Queen. It's there in her name.
Jack-o'-lantern, I think, from Spider-Man is a character. Kind of looks at, he has the pumpkin head.
I'm sure, I'm sure there's stuff like that, or more of the like classic monster. Surely there's like a Frankenstein or something that in the Marvel universe.
They had comic books in the 60s that were all they had a Mummy comic book, they had a Frankenstein comic book. That's where Werewolf by Night came from, and then of course Dracula. So they had them all. Now, whether or not, the only thing I wonder about that is I wonder if they still have the rights to them, because maybe because they became Universal monsters, they just don't have the rights to do it anymore, which I guess would make sense. But yeah, I agree. I think that would have been. I think it's more fun. I just think it would have been more fun than just this one central. Everything's the Horde, and then you got some cards. Plus, do you feel? Because this is when I saw the way they released the cards, like, what are you doing? You have the Horde stuff, but then you're not doing anything with the Horde stuff. And then you release the 2 discard cards, which I thought could have been done at a later time. Put some of the Horde cards out first. The discard cards could come into play later. And so I don't know. It just seemed like the order of it wasn't great.
I think it's just a tricky thing about Snap's release cadence is like, how do you introduce a whole new archetype or a whole new keyword that doesn't already have pieces you can mix in, right? Like, you could call Wiccan a new archetype, but it already had some existing pieces that could be slotted in. With like Quicksilver and Domino. Like, I mean, he was designed around those cards. Whereas if we're starting totally new, a whole new thing, a whole new keyword, not really good. I mean, there's some synergy with like Kitty Pryde type stuff, right? But yeah, I don't know how you do it, because even if you have them all front loaded, like, are you going to ask all your players, hey, buy 5 of the new cards right now this week? Like,
that's true.
I don't know how you solve that problem. It's tricky. And I think it's another place where the zombies thing was an interesting choice, because like, is Horde going to get any support over the next year? Like,
I'm sure it probably won't get any support past this month. I would think, because you're 100%. Yep, 100%. Yeah, like I said, I just think Marvel Zombies was tremendously popular when that comic book hit. Oh man, that one of the highest selling comic books I think that came out that year. But then, like I said, I just think that it's kind of past its prime. Like a lot of those things that were, and it's funny how that works. Like horror stuff, it will go, you'll have that where it'll go in and out. It'll be like sometimes it'll be vampire stuff, like Twilight, when Twilight was so popular.
Yeah, of course.
And then all the vampire stuff hit. And then you'll get vampire, everybody copies everything. So it's like, oh, look at that's doing well, I'm going to make a vampire movie. And then you'll have that. And then you'll have slasher films. And then you'll have demonic possession stuff. And then you'll have, and it just seems like it comes and goes. But I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. I just kind of think that, it kind of missed the boat a little bit. And you're right. I was just thinking about that earlier. I'm like, I don't think that these cards will see play past this season. I really don't. I don't see anybody playing Horde after this season's over. I don't think they're going to stick.
So they did give the package like 5 more power, which is a lot.
Yeah, it is. Hmm.
But I've had this conversation, started it on Snap on this. I've seen some other creators talk about it, but it's just like the game has shifted so that so much of the power in the game is multiplying or even exponential, right? You know, you have Jocasta and Invisible Woman first steps type stuff that lets you use your end of turn abilities 6 times.
Yeah.
It's like, doesn't matter if the zombie horde is +7. It can't compete with 6 repeated abilities. Like,
no.
It's just so different scaling linearly versus exponentially. And I just don't know if Horde ever stood a chance.
Yeah, no, it's 100%. I just don't think it can catch up. And even now, like you have so many people that are playing Destroy. I can't tell you. I was just playing Conquest because I wanted to get the Bishop card, and I was in there every single deck. It used to be negative. Now every single deck in there is Destroy. I'm like, oh, this is so. It's like, but yeah, like I don't know. I just don't. I'm not seeing it, and I get the appeal for people that are playing Destroy. I mean, especially for players that aren't playing that long. It's very easy to pick that deck up and play that.
Yeah, it's a very approachable deck.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't. After this season, especially because we're getting the most popular character again back in the game, which is Spider-Man. You're getting another Spider-Man season, and so I think it's going to just be quickly forgotten.
Yep.
And it's a shame because like you were talking about the Halloween season that we got before, that stuck around because Elsa created her own deck type, and that was around for a long time after that. So, but yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. It'll be interesting to see what we're getting next. But yeah. So speaking of that. Let's move into, we'll look at some data mines. This will be interesting because I usually will talk about these. I know you guys do too, but I kind of refrain from it because I'm like, let's see what Lauren has to say about the cards that are coming out. So obviously we have Weapon X. This is outrageously popular comic book. Wolverine, always one of the highest selling comics that are out there. I mean, if you haven't heard the story, I mean, you could just watch the Fox films and know what's going on with Weapon X. If you didn't, the X-Men films kind of had that was like front and center for a while. But we are getting a Weapon X season. So this is going to be kind of interesting. So we'll take a look at some of these cards and give like some early ideas about what we have here. So our season pass card is Adam.
This is the super premium season pass.
Oh, this is super premium. Okay, thanks. Yeah, super premium season. Yeah, I should have the gold up at top. Probably would have given that away, but yeah. Adamantium Infusion on reveal. Revive your highest powered destroyed card here with its power doubled. So again, destroy centric, not surprising, considering Wolverine was always a staple in destroy. Looking at these first, I'm sure you've seen them before, but looking at them, what do you think of Adamantium Infusion as a card? It's a 4/0, at least for right now.
It's a skill, so yeah, it's
okay. Yeah, it's not in the little round bubble. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with Snap Zone or wherever.
Yeah, it was from Snap Zone. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's a skill.
Yeah, that would make sense.
It seems strong to me, right? Like if we think about, okay, it's strong, but like very niche. Like I think it's very comparable to like a Fire Lord. When's the last time you've seen somebody play Fire Lord?
No,
right?
Not at all. Yeah, not at all.
So like if it's a 4/7 that revives your Venom, then that's the same thing that Fire Lord could have done.
Yeah.
So you have to be getting more value out of it than what a Fire Lord could do. Of course, Fire Lord is more targeted to a 3, but like, okay, I'll get off the Fire Lord train. There's some things you could do with this that's crazy, right? Like if you play this on the last turn with Carnage in a Nimrod deck, that's huge.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't know. It seems slow. I think 4 is expensive for destroy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I heard. I think I was watching. I can't remember. I was watching somebody's video that they were talking about. They were playing a destroy deck, and the thing with destroy now is it's just very linear, and you have things you're doing on each single turn. So, are you going to take a card out or not do something on turn 4 that you were doing on turn 4 before in a destroy deck to do this? So, it's a good point. And it may just not fit into there. Like you were saying, maybe you mess around with the Nimrod deck, or maybe, you do something a little bit different. But yeah, I would agree. I don't know that it's going to be like a straight fit into a regular destroy deck. So, all right. We have Series 5. This is Chamber. It's an activate card. +2 power for each 5 cost or higher card you have here and in hand. Sauron card, yeah, like a big idiots deck.
Yeah,
5
you
cost.
Can run like 2 or 3 high cost cards in there. Because it should count things like Scar and Death, even if they're discounted.
Oh yeah, I would think so. Yeah, 5 cost. Yeah,
I've seen some people say Nick Fury, but like, only if you have a good reason to run him anyway. I don't think this is good enough to run Nick Fury where you weren't going to.
Right.
Valentina would give you another one.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
But
Vicky hand deck maybe?
Yeah, we decided it's not quite big enough. Like, if you get 3 hits, he's a 2/9, which is big, but you have to run 3 5 costs in your hand. Yeah, that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. Yep. And even in a Sauron list, if you're playing something like that with 5 costs, it's still again, there's other cards that you need to run that are low end cards that you need to have in that deck. So I don't know. I'm not too sure on this one or where you will see it. It is kind of niche. As far as the way it looks. So did you guys do your rankings on these?
We just barely did. Maybe we did the week before, because I think we did them with Ree.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We have Deadpool himself. Speaking of people talking about getting other versions of cards that we already have, Wade Wilson is here, and Series 4, and he says, when destroyed, replace this with a 1 cost card from your hand or deck with +1 power. Obviously, Deadpool.
Very obvious.
Strong
tie.
Yeah. I mean, that's obviously Deadpool. So, I mean, but again, is this something that you play in a regular destroy deck? Now, there's a lot of times when you don't get the Deadpool that you really want it. So, but I don't know. I would say maybe Headpool even more than Deadpool at that point, because at least you're getting the bonus. But I don't know. I mean, again, it's so linear, that deck, that you want to be going first turn Deadpool, second turn Wolverine, third turn Carnage. It's so linear that is this going to fit in that where you're going to want to take the time out to get rid of this card? Or is this more like I don't know, something for Dormammu type of deck or some other type of destroying?
Yeah, I just listened to the Snap Judgments do rankings on this. I think Pulse was with Ika and Toxic Soul King.
Okay.
And Pulse was really high on this card, and I have been very low. And he's like, "Oh, I definitely want this more than Wolverine every time." And I don't think that's true.
I don't either.
Wolverine is so much more power. I think Wade is a little too slow. If he comes out as a 1 cost, I would think about it. But at 2, and then you have to destroy him after that to get your 1 cost started, it's too slow for Deadpool.
Yep. Yeah, I think so too. Because again, it's a perfect comparison too. Because it's Wolverine that you want in there, and if you're going to replace Wolverine or put this in along with Wolverine, you're going to find yourself in a choice where, I'm just going to play Wolverine. I really don't need this to happen.
Yeah, or even another 1. There's tons of good ones in Destroy now. I've been playing this deck that runs 6 1s in Destroy, and it's really fun. Yeah, but it's got Deadpool, Headpool, X-23, Nico, Moira X.
Moira.
I think the last one's Agony. But it's like, if I need ones that bad, I would rather just have extra ones than wait.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and I mean it fits a theme. It works for the deck because you can blow them all up with a Killmonger, in which case a lot of times you're going to affect your opponent, with that as well. So yeah, no, I totally can see that. And yeah, for sure, I was skeptical about it too, thinking to myself, yeah, I don't know that it's going to work. Maybe in some type of a different destroy list, but I don't know if that's going to work there. So I agree. Wild Child. I'm not certain who he is. It's got to be a Wolverine kind of thing, but I don't remember him from comics.
It looks very Sabretooth.
Yeah, it really does. But I don't remember seeing. But I was never a huge X-Men reader. I don't read. I'm sure Pulse would know because he's a big X-Men guy. But I read like bigger storylines in X-Men, but never been a big comic. Followed the stories along the way. But anyway, he's a 2/1 ongoing. +4 power if you discarded a card. +4 power if one of your cards has been destroyed. So this is one of those ones where, and it's almost like discard destroy was a thing a little bit when you'd have X-23 in a discard list, or you'd have Wolverine in a discard list. You think they're kind of trying to go back to something like that with this, where they're dead? It kind of seems that way to me. There's another card I think that's like that for this month too.
Yeah, there's at least a couple. And then we have others that have come out since, like previously mentioned Firelord and Morgan Le Fay that work with destroy and discard.
Yep.
This one I think is more interesting. It's very, very comparable to Chamber, I think, because it's a 2/9 if you kind of do the thing at a level where you should be doing it.
Yep.
Right? Like the 2/5, I don't think you run this if you're only going to do the one thing. So then the question is, like, can you make a deck that can do discard and destroy, and that's an okay thing that it's split that way?
Yeah.
And so these effects have to be really strong, and this one is 2/9 is pretty strong.
Mm-hmm.
The one that we'll see later is even stronger. I don't know, like, if half your deck is discard and half your deck is destroy, like, can you afford this guy? And that's the part that I'm stuck on. I don't know if you can.
Yeah. The fact that it surprised me a little bit that it was ongoing, but I guess it's, again, we saw some ongoing destroy discard cards in this season. So it seems like something that they might want to be looking into a little bit, or they're trying to make a little more prominent. But yeah, these Series 4 cards, I'm telling you, I've had people asking me, like, why are we getting 10 cards? And I said, do you want to know my opinion? A draft mode is coming. Now, I know they've denied it. I know they've denied it, but that's my opinion on it, because I think what they're doing is, and another thing too, is when you look at cards like this. Filler. Yes. Yep. Interesting. Because this way, if you make more cards that are double, right, either discard or destroy or both, now you have a choice. So if you're going around and doing a draft like they've done, if anybody's done a draft out there in card games, like if you did Magic or any of the other games, you go in a circle. So you'll get your turn, the other players get their turn. They draw the cards. So a lot of times you're not going to come back to cards that you necessarily wanted from the pool. So by making more like this, that they're generic, they fit in more decks, and you could kind of use them in two different things. Like, let's say you were hoping to play a discard deck. Well, now you have a card that does both. Yeah, so you're like, really I have a funny feeling. I know that they're not saying anything about it. It hasn't been talked about. I know it was done overseas.
It was, but a draft mode was on the roadmap, like,
that's right. Yeah.
2 years ago or something. And they've said in Team Answers a couple times they're still working on it.
I have a funny feeling.
But we have no idea. Like, is it the next year? Is it
right?
Is it 3 years from now? Like, when are they going to figure out what makes Snap Draft work?
Yep.
I will say, you pointed out the ongoing thing. I think the ongoing is one thing that makes it much better than Chamber.
Yeah.
Is because you can play this on the last turn of the game and it will retroactively apply.
Oh, yeah, whereas that's true.
Chamber has to be on the board in order to activate.
Yep. Yeah. I just have a funny guy. People are always asking, why are we getting 10 cards? Why are we getting? I said, patience, because I think that they're doing that on purpose. So you can't. The whole drawback to the draft thing is you can't have a game that doesn't have a lot of cards and try to do a draft mode. It's just not going to work. You have to accumulate more cards. And I think now, granted, there's other reasons behind it, I'm sure too, and monetarily and stuff like that. Yeah. But I think that if they, and people have been asking for that for a long time. I want a draft mode. Well, in order to do that right, you got to get more cards.
I like that theory.
Yeah, I kind of think that's where they're going. We'll see. I don't know if I'm right, but we'll see. All right. Next up, we have this is a skill series 4. That's a fastball. I love this. This is right out of the comics. The fact that Colossus just grabs and throws Wolverine and stuff. I always loved this thing. I thought it was hilarious. He actually did it in the Fox movie too. But yeah, this is series 4. On reveal, destroy your highest power card here to afflict an enemy card here with that much negative power. So obviously, there's still, and I mean, even today, the toxic deck is playing pretty well. Again, it comes and goes. So yeah, this I think though is going to be fun, and it's a card that comes right out of the comics. I love this one. I think this is cool.
Yeah, I agree. Mostly, I'm not a fan of the standalone collectible skills that can start in your deck.
Yep.
That you can split, get variants for. I just think that's weird.
Yeah, I agree.
But this one is fun. This one I like quite a bit. And also, I think is a much stronger card than Adamantium Infusion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's some really cool stuff you can do with this, Nimrod that I mentioned before. This is a better thing to do with it.
Yeah.
You do just this on a 6-power Nimrod, and it's a 218.
Yeah, that's insane. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
This card is definitely going to see play. There are tons of cards out there that you want to destroy.
Yep.
And then to make double value on that, we're back to the thing we were talking about earlier, where the power is multiplying.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad they this is cool. I always like the stuff that they really adapt from the comics. And the Fastball Special was always a huge thing in comic books, in the X-Men books, in the Wolverine books. So that's kind of cool. But when I saw it, I'm like, yes, this is going to be awesome. So yeah, I agree. This is going to be a fun one. Might be my favorite card of the month. Then we've got another series 4. This is Marrow 2/3. When discarded or destroyed, randomly split. What is that? 6 power among negative 6 power among enemy cards. So again, another kind of a toxic card that's gonna. I mean, that's negative 6 power among enemy. That's not bad. I mean, depending on how many cards you have out there for a 2/3. But what do you think of Marrow?
Yeah, it's not bad, but you need something to take advantage of it, like an Ajax or Diamondback.
Yeah, for sure.
If you think about discarding it, and it's just 6 power, you could discard Proxima Midnight, and she's 7 power. And the cost difference between Marrow being a 2 and Proxima being a 4 doesn't matter because you're discarding it.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to be destroying this very often. That seems expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting design, but I would not be surprised to see it tuned up a little bit before December launch.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, a lot of these can change. So just, for those of you who are listening or watching and you don't pay attention to the data mines a lot, keep that in mind. These are probably not final. They do get changed sometimes before things happen if they're a little weak or a little too strong. So, yeah, I agree. I don't know. The fact that you're getting a lot of these, though, discard or destroy, discard and destroy and stuff like that, they're pairing that up together. So I think that's interesting. Next up, we have this is a Series 5. This is Aurora, a 6/5. So not a great stat line there, obviously, but on reveal, give one of your other on reveal cards at each location plus 2 power. Repeat for ongoing, activate, and end of turn. Wow, okay. That's
it's a hell of a text box, right?
yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
So I've seen some people be confused about how it works, but it's really think of it as just the first part. It's going to give one of your on-reveal cards at each location plus 2. I think that's easy enough to understand.
Yep.
And then it does it again with your ongoing cards, and then again with your activates, again with your end of turns. So it encourages playing a really diverse deck, which I think is interesting. It's obviously very Spectrum-like. And you're looking at up to plus 8 power per location.
Yeah, so that can make the card pretty big when you look at it. It's adding all that in. It is interesting though. That's got to be one of the biggest text boxes we've got in the card. That's a lot of stuff. to take into consideration. So yeah, it should be interesting. That's the card right before Christmas too. That's our holiday card that we're getting there.
Oh, nice.
December 23rd. So
yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like cards that can look, when you first see them, they look a little confusing, and they end up being a lot of fun, or actually end up being a lot more powerful than you kind of think that they would be when you first see them. So yeah, this one seems like it might be a very, very good card, or very strong card. Did you rank them when you guys did them?
No, we rank them right before they go live.
Oh, so that's right. Yeah.
When it's the data mines, we're just like, hey, check them out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
but then, I don't know, is it maybe next week is when we'll be ranking November season?
Yeah, okay, the Spider-Man cards.
Yep. I think she seems strong and definitely interesting. Like, I love a good deck building puzzle.
Yeah.
Another example of a card that's encouraging more of a hybrid deck, although I think you can also you can mix on reveals and ongoings in the same archetype pretty easily.
Yeah, that's true.
She's a cool card. I think she might actually be a playable 6, which is a hard thing to make.
That's very true. You don't see too many 6s that come out that are automatically like, yeah, I got to put that in my deck. Yeah, 100%. Phantom X is December 30th, Series 5 card as well. Activate. If you've had cards discarded and destroyed, afflict front row enemy cards at each location with -2 power. So there's a lot of you're seeing a lot of toxic cards here that are the affliction cards here that are in this set as well. So it's kind of a mishmash of a bunch of different things. But I don't know. 4/6, you're activating it. So turn 5, turn 6, and
so it afflicts the front row, so it could afflict up to 6 cards.
Yeah.
That's a 4/18 at, if everything goes right.
Yep. Another card that you want to play with Ajax. I mean, you could play an Ajax on the last turn then too. Would be pretty big.
Yeah, it'd be kind of surprising because of the activate. Totally.
Yep.
Of course, the activate is always a tricky thing to put on a card that's less expensive.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting design. Like, this is a 4/18 sounds really strong, but like it's asking you to do a lot to run a hybrid deck. So I'm really interested to see how it goes.
And we're kind of seeing that a little bit too with Captain Marvel this week as well with that activate. It's sometimes is difficult to do that. When you're going along through the game and you get there and it's like, I got to activate this thing, and you're thinking, oh yeah, I can't. When you get past that point, if you're at turn 5, turn 6, the card almost becomes useless in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yep. All right. Well, that's a no card art. Oh, this is going to be the dragon stuff.
Yeah, for January.
Yeah, we're getting the dragons. I wasn't sure when I went back and I saw these. I'm thinking to myself now, is it dragons or was it more Shang-Chi related? Because I saw a lot of Shang-Chi stuff that they data mined for this too. Now that could just be a coincidence because Xiao obviously is from Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
so,
I think there will probably be a little bit of Shang stuff in there. But they also do have, as you have on the screen, Lockheed, and Fin Fang Foom, and Dragon Man. Like, to me, it seems like dragons.
Yep. Yeah. I would. Yeah, you're probably right. I don't know how far you look into them. Do you when you go through like data mines and stuff like that? Did you notice like all the Guardians cards we're getting?
Yeah. You mean like there's like team cards coming?
Is that what it is?
Avengers and Thunderbolts. Yeah. My guess is it's related to a game mode.
Okay.
There's like Web Slingers, Avengers, X-Men. There's new cards that are like the faction version of these cards.
Okay, yeah, that's what because I was wondering. I just saw a bunch of data mine Guardians, and I'm like, what are they doing with the Guardian? And they're different cards. So okay, yeah, maybe we're getting a new game mode that they're going to do like you were saying with factions or teams. That'll get probably pretty good reception because remember when they were doing those faction war things, which I thought were fun when they would have play the Avengers in your deck, play the X-Men in your deck. That they were doing for a little while.
Yeah, the imbalance patches were really fun, and I've seen a lot of positive feedback about them.
Yep.
But they only did 2 months, and I think maybe they were just too difficult.
Yeah.
To have like a good cadence with them.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. But yeah, January should be interesting. I saw Lockheed, and I'm like, oh my God, that's the little purple dragon. I could not remember what superhero the dragon was with. And I'm like, with
Magic and Kitty. Yeah.
Yep. I could not for the life of me remember who it was with, but yeah, it's cool. A lot of people have been asking for a Fin Fang Foom card. In fact, I don't know. I haven't gone back and looked at those old data mines, like the cards that have been just kind of sitting there forever. We just got Viv. Of course, she's been in there for a long time. But I can't remember if I saw in there a Fin Fang Foom card. There might have been, because I thought I remember seeing the art, but I haven't looked for a while.
Fin Fang Foom might be the January season pass card, but we don't have card text for most of the dragons yet.
Right. Yeah. No, the text didn't come
That'll be in the next patch.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yes. There's a few Weapon X cards you missed. I don't know if you want to talk about them or not.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I didn't know. I thought I had them all, but I could have missed some.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's easy for you to fix live.
I can. Well, yeah, let me just hold on. I'll just.
Because we missed the season pass card, Weapon X, the Wolverine.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's Weapon H, the like Hulk Wolverine hybrid, and I think that card
is right.
Busted, so it would be fun to talk about.
Yeah, sure. Let me pull. I don't know that I can pull them up on a slide, but I'll pull them up here and I'll just read them out. All right, let's see here. October, yeah, that's where I'm gonna be. No, you're good. That's fine. It's all good. My audience.
I can read them off, but they are like Weapon X especially has like quite a text box.
Oh, there's actually different things even here now that I'm looking up. All these things are catching my eye. There's new skill cards. Arachnid, Acrobatics, Master of Magnetism.
Oh, those are the ones for the upcoming Grand Arena.
The Grand Arena, okay.
Because Ghost Spider and Magneto are two of the new champions.
Okay.
I think also Hulk and Thor.
There's a Dragon Breath. Okay, here we go. Weapon H. Weapon H is a Hulk character. He's a 7/14. When discarded, put this back with a -2 cost.
That's the same text as Apocalypse, so it's going to go back to your hand.
Yep.
That seems really good. You discard it twice, and he's a 3/14.
Yeah, that's kind of sick. Yeah, it's no kidding. He could be now. I was just gonna say he doesn't replace Apocalypse, obviously, because he won't get that big.
I think you're looking for some redundancy.
Yeah,
right? But like, maybe see him replacing Scorn, like.
For the viewers out there he is. He
looks cool. I was looking him up a little bit. He is his own separate character, like a separate human character in the game, but he is definitely like Hulk plus Wolverine. What does that mean? I think that card's going to sell well. I think that's a good card to make strong because he looks cool.
Big dumb idiots always do well, and especially for this card, they definitely do.
Can you find Weapon X Wolverine?
Let's see. I'm going through.
This text box is all wacky on Snap, man.
I'm getting into Spider-Man stuff. I saw Chameleon.
I've got
Wilson. Here it is. Yep, nope, I found it. Weapon X Wolverine is a 2/1. After one of your other cards is destroyed, +1 power. After every third time, improve this effect by 1. Wow, okay.
So
there he is.
He's tricky. He's got to be hanging out on your board. But if you're playing something that does a lot of destroying, he's going to get big.
Yeah.
Yep. I think every single deck that runs Weapon X is also going to run Death, because those are the cards where you're not necessarily looking at destroying a lot of power, but you want to destroy a lot of different cards.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. That's this is kind of the centric card to the entire season. Obviously,
he's the season pass. I think that's a complicated.
I was just going to say
for a season pass, but
yeah,
obviously Wolverine is a popular character.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I'm trying to think that back in the day when the comic sales were being tracked and stuff like that, I want to say Spider-Man was always number one. But I think Wolverine was right behind him, and that's what got everybody to read the X-Men titles. I don't know why the biggest X-Men book or the X-Men thing that I followed was the The one in the 90s, Fatal Attractions, which they just did the adaptation for on the X-Men animated series when Wolverine got his armor ripped out of him by Magneto.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but I've never been that big of an X-Men fan. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna. Were they the only two I missed? Let me take a double check and make sure.
Maverick is the last one.
Oh, okay.
If you can find a 3-3.
Let's see. Ooh, Dan Hip's making an Ajax. Just to let everybody know. Marrow. Oh, there he is. Okay, yeah, 3-3. Series 5, activate. Give the next card you play power equal to this card's power. So that's him right there. He is a 3-3. Next card you play, give power equal to his power. So obviously, that's it's a buff card, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think tricky to use his ability where, like, if you buff him, then he buffs the next thing even more. I think that's going to be tricky because he's a 3. That's expensive. But there's going to be cool stuff you can do with that, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No doubt.
Buff him up and then you activate him and play Brood and you play a giant Brood.
Yeah. Oh, and that's true. He could fit in a Surfer list. He's a 3-3. So, yeah, that's a good call. While we're on that topic, what are your favorite decks to play? I don't know if anybody ever heard you mention that on your podcast, but I'm just curious. What are your, like, I know there's some people, I'm pretty sure Ree likes buff stuff. I thought I heard her say she loves
Ree
buff
likes
stuff.
Hand buff a lot.
Yeah.
Ben likes Surfer and Move.
Yep.
And they both like discard. My favorite has always been Lockdown, but you can't really play Lockdown anymore. I mean, you can, but I think the closest thing to Lockdown anymore is like the Storm War Machine Legion stuff, and that's I don't want to do that.
Now you're talking Professor X, like old school Lockdown stuff.
I love Professor X a lot.
Yeah.
Basically, win one lane with Professor X, win the other lane with Valkyrie was my favorite thing to do.
Oh yeah, the Valkyrie. Yeah, Valkyrie's so underrated. Is so underrated in this game. I'm really shocked that people didn't catch on to that card and nobody plays it more than they do. But that's good. It's a kept secret. People just don't expect it.
They have recently nerfed both Shang and Shadow King, and she's in the same place. And I think it'd be interesting for them to buffer for a little bit, right? Yep. Like a 4/3 Valkyrie, I think probably is too good of a card. But like for a little bit, why not?
Yeah.
What else do I like? I really like Cersei a lot. So like a deck that can put out Mysterios and Voids and things like that I'm going to transform. It's a gamble, but it's a fun gamble.
Yeah.
I like Mr. Negative a lot. I know people don't love it. I have never updated my deck since Gore got added. So like I don't even run Gore, but that's always been an archetype I've enjoyed. I think it's a really good archetype for learning the game. Like, because it has very clear snap and retreat lines.
Yeah, true. Yeah, if you don't get Mr. Negative, it's like yeah, no doubt.
One more. I don't know. Move has grown on me a lot, although I mostly only play it in limited time game modes. I don't play it in regular Snap, but like I always pull it out for Sanctum Showdown, and I'm like, oh, this is actually really fun.
Yeah, I'm a bad Move player. I can remember back when oh my gosh, I'm gonna forget his name now. There was a creator, and I think he still does stuff. I see him from time to time on there, but he was one of the ones like right around like with Regis and stuff like that I was watching a lot. But he played Move all the time.
Was it Molt?
Molt, thank you. Yes, yeah, he played Move all the time, and every time you'd watch him, it was a variation of a Move deck. And I'd be sitting there thinking like, this isn't so hard. And then I try to play it and I'm terrible at it. Terrible at it. And I'm like,
the sequencing and stuff is tough.
Yeah, it really is. Like to get it, I always say it makes my brain hurt when I play a deck like that. I'm like, no, I can't. And now I'm like, I really got to, and I don't know what made me such a fan of it, but last month getting to Infinite and now this month getting to where I am, I'm pretty close. I'm playing Wiccan decks all the time. I love Wiccan, and I like it, I think, mostly because when back in the day when I was playing the Galactus list, it was just straight ramp.
Mm-hmm.
I like having the feeling, and it's got to be psychological, but I like having the feeling that I'm ahead of the other player. I like being able to go, okay, Quicksilver's coming out. He's a 2. My next card coming out is a 4. I'm definitely going to probably have priority.
You have card advantage, and then later you have an energy advantage.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's really what it came down to. I'm like, why do I like playing this so much? And now you're sneaking cards in there that are like big time tech cards. That Cosmic Ghost Rider, I'm loving that card.
Yeah, very flexible.
Yeah. And then of course Galactus First Steps is in there, so I'm back to my Galactus again. But it's a completely different. I was talking about that the other day on a pod, the last week's, I think. And it was that question, and I'll ask you this too. The repeat cards. How everyone's kind of getting – well, some people are getting frustrated about repeats because we're just seeing, they're making all this old – I kind of dig it for more reasons than one. But I like the fact that now they made a Galactus card that is more like the lore of Galactus. You know when he's coming. You see the Herald. And now you know that it's coming, but now
he's just big.
Right. Yeah. And it's like he's daring you, okay, stop it. If you don't want me to come, you've got to play in this lane. And if you don't, I'm just going to keep getting bigger, which is much more like the lore of Galactus than him blowing up all the locations. I get it. He destroys planets, but that was never really kind of the lore of the card. So to me, if they're going to make different cards, make them more according to the lore from the comics or from wherever, and I'm okay with that. If you make different types of cards for different types of characters, make them more akin to what the lore was. I'm all right. I think
it's a very comic-y thing to have alternate versions of characters.
And no doubt.
Some characters have so many versions that are very different. Like it makes sense that they would be represented by different cards to me.
Yep.
And I think it's a good way to bring cards back. Like Ben was saying. Fastball Special could have been a new Colossus instead of a skill.
That's true.
Because how many decks are playing Colossus when you're at the end of the game?
Yeah.
Maybe some Nomura stuff, but basically no. Basically you don't play Colossus anymore. And I think having a new version of a card can be a good way to revive a character like that, right? Like Hulk. You don't play Hulk except for maybe in High Evo. Anymore. But that's a card that's a character people love. So it would make sense to find a way to bring another Hulk into the game.
Yep.
I'm so down for getting other versions of cards. I just also want them to be bringing in new characters.
100%. But you're right. Like Hulk, and I don't think a lot of people realize there's so many. There was a Gray Hulk. There's Maestro Hulk, who's the one from the future. There's so many different versions of all those cards that you can make each one of them their own. The Hulk that I'm reading now, the comic book that I've been reading now for like the past year and a half or so that Hulk is in, it's a horror book. It literally is a straight up horror comic. And it's, he's got a sidekick with him who was introduced that was possessed by like a spirit or something. But it's like a straight up horror book. And he basically banished Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner's kind of stuck inside the Hulk's body and can't get back out.
Oh wow!
So it's just neat how, but there are so many characters like that original group of Avengers and including like Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four. They've had so many versions of all of them over the years that you could literally you could do that so many times over and over again and making new cards. So they have a lot to work with if they want to keep the game going for a while, for sure. So. I want to talk to you a bit about because on your show, you guys talk a lot about other games you're playing, pop culture kind of stuff too, and and that's kind of where I've started to go a little bit on the show as well. So I want to talk to you about. Well, first I'm going to ask you. We got 2 comic book films. So we had Superman and obviously we had Fantastic Four. Did you see both? I think I remember you saying you did.
Yeah, I saw both of them in theaters.
Okay. What did you think?
I really had fun with both of them.
Okay.
I did like Superman more, which isn't exactly what I was expecting, because in my head, I think Superman is a more boring character than the Fantastic Four. In general, I like Marvel more than DC. That's not 100% true, but But I tried to keep an open mind, and I think at the end, like, I thought Superman was a more fun movie.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, though, the set design, the retrofuturism, I thought was absolutely stunning.
The 60s theme and stuff like that. Yeah, I thought that was cool too. Yeah, I agree with you. And I never would have thought that. If I would have gone into this year thinking I was going to like, now I grew up on Superman. I saw the original when I was 8 years old in theaters, when the Christopher Reeve, the very first one, and I was enamored. But I mean, especially the way Superman's been, I would never have expected that to be as fun as it was. I also kind of think that it was just a more hopeful movie, where it just kind of, the positive vibes and stuff that they came out with. And I knew I like James Gunn. I really just do. And I kind of knew the fact that he got me to go see Guardians. And I never read Guardians of the Galaxy, never. And so going in to see that, the first time that I saw the original, I was shocked at how much I liked it. So I kind of knew he was going to do well with Superman. But yeah, I was the same way, even though, I mean, I got to see Galactus on a screen for the very first time. So seeing that
was good.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah. And like the surfer looked awesome. Like,
the
visuals were great. I just think, I think the story was like, felt more of a stretch. Whereas
Superman, it did,
felt much more like, I don't know, human. Which is kind of the point of the Superman story. They have a whole spiel about that at the end. Yeah.
You know what's funny about it is I kind of just think of that the way we are right now, and our country and everything else that's going on with other things. I think it was just something that everybody needed. I think it was something that everybody needed. It was a feel good movie and stuff like that. Fantastic Four. The only complaint that I really have about it is I think it kind of felt rushed. I think that they skipped a lot at that very beginning part, and I get it. I don't need to know the origin stories about all these characters again. God forbid they show Uncle Ben dying for the 9,000th time. I'm good. I know what happened. But in that particular case, they flew through like the first 15 minutes and did a backstory. Oh, we got a dog on the screen. I love it.
This is Remy.
Oh, hello, Remy.
He's very clingy. He's almost always sitting right next to me during podcasts.
That's awesome.
So I was just going to move him to my lap.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
that's much cuter than people wanting to see my face and stuff like that. So, hey, go for it. My poor dog wasn't feeling well. She was under the weather, some kind of stomach problem that she had going on. So I felt bad. You feel so bad for them when they're not feeling their best, and there's like nothing you can do.
Yeah, and you can't explain to them this is gonna pass.
Right, right. Yeah. How old is your dog?
8.
Okay, yeah, mine's 10. She just turned 10.
Yeah, he's slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, well, hey, that's gonna happen. But no, that's not. Have you always had dogs through your life? No.
Nope, he's my first one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have had 2, but the one we had, like, I rescued him when he was 12, so we didn't have him for a very long time. Yeah. Rescue dogs
are my oldest daughter got a rescue from. The dog was literally roaming like the streets of, I think it was Mexico that she got the dog from. And they brought it here, got her from a shelter, and here someone had burned the dog. She had a big burn mark on her back. So they are so.
Makes me sick.
Oh, I know, it's disgusting. Yeah, they're so grateful though. The rescue dogs are just like so. They're so grateful and things like that. That stuff breaks my heart. I cannot watch. Like I used to have. What was it? Oh man, they have a site on Facebook, and I can't watch it anymore. I can't remember the name of it. The Dodo. I used to watch that and I can't. It makes me too sad to see it. I'm like, nope, I can't watch that anymore. But yeah, dogs are. I've had dogs throughout my whole life, ever since I was a young boy, all the way up to now. I don't think I ever won't.
But I think I will going forward. But growing up, we did not have them.
Okay. Yeah. The only thing about them is I wish that they lived a little longer. A good friend of mine she raises wolves. She's on and they're obviously dogs are ancestors or related to wolves somehow, but the wolves live to be, I think, like 20 something, 22, 23 years old.
I had no idea.
No, I didn't either. Yeah, I didn't either.
It's wild how different that can be, because like we had rats for a little while and I loved them. They turned out to be more like little dogs than like gerbils, which I expected them to be more like gerbils. But anyway, I love them, but they only live like 2 years.
Yeah.
And then you have like squirrels, which are also rodents, and they live for 25 years.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I remember when we went to see, speaking of Guardians, I took my youngest daughter to see it, and she cried her eyes out. And I remember after the movie, she's like, "Dad, I want a raccoon." I'm like, "You good luck with that." I said, "You kind of need an outdoor pen for that, because if you leave it in the house at one day, it'll shred everything in your house." Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah. I think that I mean, Marvel's chugging right along. Obviously, there's I think we're done. Wonder Man is the next one coming out, which there was literally nothing being said about that, and now they finally said that it's coming in January or the end of January. So I know you
kind of like teaser trailer or something, right?
There was, yeah.
But I don't know anything about Wonder Man.
I never really knew much about the character either. In fact, I think the last time Glazer was on, he and I were talking about him. So he must be an X-Men person, because I didn't really know much about him either. But it looks as if they're making it like a comedy kind of a thing, where they're invoking stuff from the past into the. So I don't know. It looks like it might be, but I'm excited now I was watching stuff from Comic-Con, and they showed the Daredevil panel. And of course, Jessica Jones, Kristen Ritter came up on stage, and people went
I'm so
nuts.
glad she's coming back.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be this last season. I enjoyed it, but it was disjointed, and you could tell that they had like writers that did half of it, and then they got a whole new writing team because they fired the writing team that was there, and you could see it from the one part to the other. And so, but I'm pretty excited for it. Plus, they said it's going to cross over with Spider-Man somehow, which is really cool. Yeah. So
they had him in one of the Spider-Man movies already, right?
Yeah, he was in No Way Home, the last one, the one with Doctor Strange and everything. Yeah, he was Peter's lawyer. When he got
that's great.
When they found out that was when he caught the person threw a brick through the window, and he just put out his hand and he goes, "Yeah, I'm a good lawyer." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's awesome." But I don't know, man. I love this stuff. Growing up when I did, honestly, I never ever thought I would get to see all this stuff come to the big screen, and it's just it's such a cool thing for me to see. And be able to see like all this stuff going on. I heard Thanos might be coming back as King Thanos from the comics, which he had like all gray hair and kind of like a gray beard and stuff like that. He's a part of Secret War. So, yeah. So I'm not really surprised if he would. And they're supposed to bring James Brolin back to do it if that's the case. But next year should be fun. I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff coming. X-Men 97, which I thought was fantastically done.
Yeah.
The second season of that is coming out, and then of course Spider-Man the movie, and then we get Doomsday at the end of next year, which I know everybody will be enjoying too. So I want you to tell me about something. Talk to me about KPop Demon Hunters, because
that is on my list.
I heard it on your new show, and so I want to hear about this, because I've heard all the comments on your show about it, and I have not watched it yet.
All right.
So I want like from a person who's never seen it. I want to hear about it. So,
well, we'll take a slight detour at the beginning. The best way to tell stories. Yeah, you told me you wanted to do upcoming movies and TV for a little bit.
Yes.
And you just touched on pretty much every single one I had.
Okay.
Spider-Man, Avengers.
Yep.
X-Men 97.
Yep.
Spider-Verse would be another one. I want to see the Spider-Verse movie.
Oh yeah, the new one. That's the animated one. Yeah, they've been very, very good. Very good.
From the same studio, but not from the same directors.
Okay.
KPop Demon Hunters. It kind of does what it says on the tin. There's 3 girls in a K-pop band, and they hunt demons. They use their music to protect the world. and there's actually some like pretty badass fighting in the movie, right? You see this and you're like, oh, it's for girls. It's a cartoon. It's got all this like K-pop music in it, but it's actually like, I just saw something today where one of the directors said that they covered all the fights with glitter because you can get away with a lot more when there's glitter flying everywhere. And it's like, if you watch some of the fight choreography, it is actually pretty cool. They can like materialize weapons from the Honmun, which is it's the layer that protects the world from demons.
Okay.
That they basically like, they sing to build the fandom, and then the fandom, the souls of the people, is what protects the world. And so yeah, one of them's got a sword, one of them's got a glaive, and one of them has throwing knives. But very minor spoilers that you find out very quickly in the movie. One of the girls is half demon, and so there's this tension of what do you do if you're part demon and part hunter, and your whole purpose as a hunter is to destroy demons. And then the evil demon king Gima sends 5 demons to the world as a demon boy band. And so then it's about the face-off between the girls, the demon hunter girls, and the demon boy band. And they know what's going on, but the public doesn't know that there's this extra layer on top of music battles, right? Awesome. So it's very fun and silly, lighthearted, straightforward, but also it has so much heart. The animation is beautiful. The songs are catchy. It's just like, it feel good and so fun and so much detail. You just tell there's so much love poured into it. If you are somebody who likes animation at all, I strongly recommend it.
I have
to watch it with children.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Yeah, because I've always enjoyed. I animated stuff, and even I was watching. A friend of mine is a big. She would watch a lot of anime. And I took a shine to some of the anime and stuff that she was watching along the way, and I would watch some of that too. But yeah, I heard good things. I actually went into Spirit Halloween, and I saw them selling like K-pop Demon Hunter stuff.
There's going to be so much of them for Halloween this year.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure. But well, yeah. Like, give me the thoughts on the other things on your list. So like, you said X-Men '97. Now you watched the first season, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I did. So my list is kind of short, and it's not that I love movies and TV, but there are very few that I watch like as they're coming out. That's not. I'm fine with watching kind of slow, but like Spider-Verse, I will be there watching it in theaters right away.
That's an experience you have to see in a theater. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. K-pop Demon Hunters 2. I don't know if that's going to be straight to Netflix again or if it's going to be in theaters, but as soon as it's there, I'm going to be there day one.
Yep.
Yeah, and then X-Men '97, I absolutely loved. It was, I know some people were critical of like the retro look, but like that was the point. It was supposed to look like a '90s cartoon,
100%.
And it did look like a modern take on a '90s cartoon. And but it was like surprisingly heavy for a cartoon. Again, people can be quick to dismiss cartoons, but it's just a medium. It's just an art form. Like you can have cartoons for adults. Yeah, I don't know where the story's going. I'm not familiar with the comics, and so I'm eager to see what a new season is going to cover.
That came out in the 90s when the comic book industry was in kind of trouble. And what they would do is this was like not probably that long before Marvel went bankrupt. And that's why they sold off all their properties. This was when they were making comics with variant covers, different things on the front, holograms and this and that. And it was really, I was never an X-Men reader. And my friend Mike, who owned a comic book store, kind of said to me, he's like, you should pick this up. And I said, okay, I would listen to his suggestions. He was like, twist my arm, I'll read something else. But I never, when I was watching that, I'm like, they are not going to do this. And when I saw Magneto and Logan, I'm like, no way they're going to do this on a cartoon.
Hardcore.
And when they did it in the comics, it was shocking to see. Like spoiler, but basically Wolverine gets his adamantium ripped out of him by Magneto. And it happened in the comics, and the comic was very graphic as well. And when I saw them doing it on this thing, I'm like, they're not going to show this. And then they did. And I'm like, oh, damn, okay, yeah, they did.
I think it's TV-14, and I love that they did that. Like,
yeah.
it could still be good and have some heavier themes if it was, you know, like Y7 or whatever, but I like that they opened it up to be a little darker, a little more intense.
Yep. Now, you and I both liked Agatha. I was a big fan of the Agatha series. I really loved that show. I really did. And I mean, I'm a fan of the character anyway, but I just thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, it was a very fun show.
It really was. And again, Halloween season, see that, I like that, you know, that to me, that was like perfect for the time and stuff like that it came out. But yeah, no, I'll have to check out that K-pop Demon Hunters. Then it seems I've seen it every time I go through my Netflix. I see it in the top 10. It's like literally top 1, top 2, top 3 of the people watching stuff like that. So
and it broke the record. I don't know why they do it this way, but Netflix tracks its like all-time views are actually just the first 91 days. I think it's because most things drop off dramatically after that.
Yep.
Anyway, it completely shattered records. Like, it has the music, the soundtrack and the movie both have shattered all kinds of records. It's the most watched thing on Netflix for the first 91 days.
That's crazy.
It's really wild, but like the way that the phenomenon has taken off.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That could end up very well going into a theater if that did that well, and they think they can attract people to go and buy tickets for it.
They did do a 1 weekend theater with on-screen, like it was a sing-along version.
They might very well look into that, because that'll get them a lot more money than it would just for streaming service. Although Netflix probably paid pretty well, so yeah
I expect that I think, what did I hear? Sony put 20 million into it, and Netflix bought it for 1 million, but it's projected to become a $1 billion franchise.
That's crazy.
They're both doing pretty good. Sony will definitely be involved with the second one. I expect the second one will go to theaters, because of course they want those, like,
no doubt,
extra income. Why not?
After those failed Spider-Man spin-offs that they had, they kind of need to make up for all those. They kind of gave up on that. Sony did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool though. Now I want to bring in a little bit of this the discussion. Lauren was nice enough to provide me some answers to one of my request line questions. So I want to get into that, because obviously we're getting close to Halloween. We're 10 days away. So you told me what your favorite scary movie was, and you also told me what I think I asked you, did you tell me your favorite? Yeah, your favorite and least favorite Halloween
and least
candy.
favorite candy. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit. I want the people to hear. Your favorite scary movie was
I think it was Jennifer's Body.
Jennifer's Body. Yes. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Which I just recommended on my show, and I think I recommended it really poorly. I don't have a lot of experience talking about movies, so I'm excited to have another stab at it.
Yeah.
I think the biggest selling point for Jennifer. Well, have you seen it? Have you seen Jennifer?
I have, but see, that almost crosses my line, because I am very bad with possession stuff. The Exorcist ruined me when I was very young.
Yeah.
But it's the weirdest thing. It's got to be something. I remember watching the last season of Stranger Things with my youngest, and she's like, "Dad, you don't like all the contortion stuff." She said, "How is this not bothering you?" Because there was contortion all through that with the. And I said, honestly, the female contortion stuff is what gets me. It's not so much if there's a male, it doesn't bother me. But I said, I guess it's because of the girl in The Exorcist is what it is. And I said, so yeah, I did watch it. I don't know if I watched the entire thing all the way through. I did watch it though, so I kind of know what the plot of it is about and stuff like that. But yeah.
I think the number one selling point is it's written by Diablo Cody, who wrote Juno. It's got this very sharp writing. It's very witty.
Okay.
It is a product of its time. Not to say that it's, like racist or bigoted or anything like that, but like it uses slang that's like, early mid 2000s slang that, kind of like places it in time. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But it's very cute, and I don't think that's normally what you expect from a scary movie, right? Like it might have like interesting plot or whatever, but you don't usually think of scary movies as having sharp writing.
Yep.
Anyway, two girls are best friends. One of them, they go to a show. The band is looking for a virgin to sacrifice to benefit their band. They want success, and they're going to go about it in a dark way. They're going to sell their souls to the devil, essentially.
Okay.
And so they end up sacrificing one of the girls, and it goes wrong. And so then it's about, she's a little different after that event, and at first she tries to hide it.
It's Megan Fox. Yeah, okay.
It's Megan Fox and Amanda Seyfried. Megan Fox is the one who ends up kind of demonic. And yeah, it's just like high school. It's kind of like what you would expect from like a high school prom, like that type of movie, but then also throw in demon possession, and she eats boys. Really fun tension.
Now that you mention it, I do think I remember. Yeah, I remember seeing a scene where it was going that direction. But yeah, okay.
Yep. So
that's cool.
It's really fun if it's something that you can handle. I showed it to my 13-year-old, I think last year, but my 13-year-old is like pretty insensitive to the scary stuff. So,
okay.
If you have a sensitive teen, wait a little longer.
I'm usually, it's funny because I can watch, like I grew up on slasher films, and I can watch all the blood, guts, and gore. I can sit through a Saw film and it does not bother me. Some people like cannot stand that really gory, gross stuff. It doesn't bother me at all. Anything, but I think the thing with me too about possession is it's how I grew up. My mom, very, very, very Catholic, and I think when that's the case, because my mom used to, and I can remember there was a movie out in the 70s called The Amityville Horror, which was about a house in Amityville, New York, and stuff like that. And that one very famous. Very creepy to me. And see that, but again, my mom many times believed in that stuff, and it was taught to her to believe in that as she was raised. And so that's what made it even more creepy. I can remember watching, it's funny, I remember watching a documentary because my mom used to read, and I to this day, I tell her, I'm like, Mom, she'd get novels for every one of those movies and read them at night. I'm like, how do you do that? You're just reading these scary, creepy novels about, I wish she still had them because boy, that's would so they be worth money. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's like, and I remember watching a documentary they did about that house, and they actually had people go in, and I remember my mom sitting there and she's like, I can't watch this. I'm like, Mom, they're going to go in and they're going to show everything. They went down the basement where the big part of the film was the basement, was a portal to hell and all this stuff. You walk down there, pink walls everywhere. And I'm like, Mom, there's pink walls down here. It's all good. There's nothing. But I just like, and just after that, I was like, I don't know. I was never. I know the movie series Evil Dead came out with a new one, and that again, the demon in the thing, it was very confined into like they were in a hotel or an apartment. It was an apartment, and the woman lived in there with her kids, and the woman was possessed. And I was like, all I had to see was the woman upside down on the ceiling. I'm like, nope,
yeah,
nope. Not gonna watch it. But yeah, that's I love the Halloween season. I really do. I've always been a fan, and from the time my mom would take me trick or treating when I was a kid to growing up now. But yeah, my favorites are, well, my all time favorites Halloween. The original Halloween is still one of my all time favorite movies. I just think it was just, I love how it was done because
executed so well.
It really was. I love John Carpenter. And the fact that he specifically made that where this was just a random dude. And this is when they changed it and it wasn't as good. When they made it out to be where he was after Jamie Lee Curtis specifically because he was related to her, that got weird.
Oh, I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. In Halloween 2, when they came out with a sequel, they had to justify the sequel. So they said, okay, we're going to make it so that she was his sister. She was the baby in the house when he killed the other girl, that she was his sister. So now he's coming after her for a reason, but I think that spoiled it. because the scary part of that is he just randomly went and chose people and went and killed them.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it even creepier. So that kind of started me out, and then I started getting into all the other ones. I've seen them all: Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream. What was I watching yesterday? I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, I'll watch them all.
How was that?
I know one? I didn't see the new one yet.
Oh, okay.
I saw the first one, the second one. The first one was okay. The second one was not so good. But I haven't seen a new one yet.
We did. I think this year we did Scream. All 6 of them did with my kid.
Okay,
it's really fun because my kid has always loved horror, but it's like now that she's 13, it's like she can appreciate it more, right? She can enjoy it herself.
Yeah.
And so it's been really fun to like have all these ones to catch up on. I'm excited to show her Halloween. I've never seen Friday the 13th, but would love to.
The first one is kind of like a mystery type thing. But then as they go, as big of a fan as I am of it, they get pretty. Some of them get kind of hard to watch because it's just silly at some point. Like,
doesn't he go to space at some point?
Yeah, the space one was god awful. When they got past part 6, they were just doing it for the money at that point, and it was like, okay, send Jason into outer space. I like that one because it's funny. Like, just the fact that he fights against it was basically like Jason fighting Data from Star Trek Enterprise because he fights an android in it, but the android's female, and she just totally just like wipes him out. And it's like, but I'll tell you though, the best kill from that series, in my opinion, the entire series is in that film. He literally takes, there's a person who was in a lab and they had a sink next to them that was filled with nitrous oxide. He literally takes her head and dips it in the nitrous oxide, instantaneously freezes her whole head, and then smashes her head off a counter, and it just breaks up into all little bits. I'm like, yep, brutal. That was amazing. Yep, that and the sleeping bag kill. If you've never seen that one, I think that's part 7. I
haven't seen any of them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You sit down. I mean, they're very campy. I'm excited because they're coming out. Yeah, they're very campy. If you like campy stuff, you'll probably enjoy it. They're coming out with a Crystal Lake series, actually, prequel. They just wrapped filming on it, and it's supposed to come out next year, which I'm excited for. I don't know if you've ever heard of Bates Motel, the series that came out that was a prequel to Psycho. So the original Psycho. Very good. Very, very good series. I loved it. And if it's anything like that, I'll be thrilled.
All right.
But yeah. Okay. Let's get to the candy stuff. Lauren is not a fan of dots. Lauren's not a fan of dots.
I think it was mostly that most of the dots you would get would just be like old and hard. Like,
they're so bad. Yeah. I agree with you in that respect. When you get a box that's old and then you're trying to bite it and it's like it's sticking to your teeth, it's disgusting. But there are boxes where, and this is how they're supposed to be soft. They're not supposed to be like that. So the soft ones are the only ones to tolerate. But yeah, the hard ones are awful. I agree with you.
What was your least favorite?
Anything that is either black licorice flavored, anise flavored, or coconut. I have never, ever been. Now, it's funny because I like the flavor of coconut. I don't like the consistency.
Oh,
and yeah.
So like Almond Joy is like
a
no-go.
Yeah, I don't like the consistency of coconut, but I love the flavor. I could drink like a coffee with coconut in it. I like the flavor. And then the anise thing, that came from my mom because my mom loves black licorice stuff. Loves it.
My mom does too, but I think that's why I do like it.
No, I couldn't. Like she would eat these little candies. They used to come in a little tin, and they were called sen-sens. And sen-sens were just these little anise flavored squares. But the thing was, when you'd open that little tin, whoosh, you'd get a whiff of it, and I'm like, oh my God, Mom, get rid of that. And I was like, never, ever. I don't even think I tried once because Twizzlers would have black licorice, they would have red licorice. They were the main things at the time. Now they have all different flavors, and the chocolate ones are my favorite ones. But she'd have black licorice in the house, and I remember trying it once, and I'm like, oh my god, I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever eaten. But
you call this candy?
Yeah, I'm like, why would anyone eat this? It's horrible. And now a friend of mine told me, and I was never a big drinker, but a friend of mine told me, he's like, there's an alcohol that is flavored that way, that tastes just like that. I'm like, oh God, no. I was like, absolutely not. But it's funny. Now, when you were a kid, did you go trick or treating?
Oh yeah, I went until I was 13, 14, something. Like
I probably did too. Yeah, so did you have anybody like make your costumes and stuff for you? Did you buy costumes? I remember we were always buying them. My mom would always get me the Ben Cooper ones in a box.
Yeah, my mom pretty much always made them.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it was partially, when we were younger, it was a money thing. And then when we were older, it was, I wanted to be a vampire chicken. And where do you find a vampire chicken costume? No, you ask mom to make it for you.
Yep.
I was Mario one year. Cleopatra in 4th grade.
Nice.
I look back on that one fondly. It's the only like girly costume I had.
Well, yeah.
I did. I remember at the end we started we were older and we could walk faster and all that, so we would try to hit the neighborhood 2 or 3 times. So we would all switch up our costumes, right? Yep. So I was like, Spider-Man with an afro.
Just make him crazy. I'll tell you, it was. I was a little jealous of my friend growing up because her dad would make her and her sister these amazing costumes.
Oh, like the elaborate cosplay.
Oh my gosh! Like he made them both aliens, and he got this big plastic cone cylinder thing that went over their head to make their head like this big, and he had teeth down here and the eyes up here, and they no matter what they did, they looked phenomenal.
That's awesome.
And here I am with my box stupid plastic costume face that had the little strap tied to the back,
sure,
and the stupid shirt you'd put on, and by the time you were done at the end of the night in those things, the plastic and you're being sweaty just did not mix. And when you got back home, you're like, dear Lord, you take that costume, throw it right in the garbage.
They're not super durable.
Yeah, no, not in the least. But yeah, I always. It's funny. I just shared this story with my mom the other day. I remind her about it, and I can remember her dad. My friend Kim growing up was my best friend, and that was her dad that would make the costumes. And I can remember being in the house. Now I was probably maybe 9 or 10. We had a front door that had the tri-windows on it. So you had a window in the bottom, window in the middle, window in the top. And all of a sudden, I hear our enclosed front porch door open up. And I'm like, oh, Mom, there's trick-or-treaters coming. So I'm getting all excited because we had candy to give away. And I hear this boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, what is it? So I look out, and I look out the window of the door. Look out the bottom window. I don't see anything. I look out the second window. I don't see anything. I look out the top, and I see his head, and it's a Frankenstein. And like a perfect Frankenstein, the face, the costume, and I'm like, Mom, I'm not getting the door. I said, you need to come downstairs because I'm not opening the door. This one's a little
too real.
Yep, nope, I'm not getting the door. And she's like, well, who is it? I said, I have no idea, but they're dressed as Frankenstein and they're huge. I said, I don't even know how he fit into the porch. So here it was my friend Kim's dad. And
nice.
and he on his shoes had bricks. Now he was a tall dude anyway. He was like 6'2", 6'3". He had bricks on his shoes. So how he was even walking with those, but like, and it made him probably close to 7 feet tall. And I'm like, oh my, and my mom comes down. My mom looks at, she goes, oh no, I'm not opening the door. No way. She's like, no. And then all of a sudden you just hear laughing. And he takes his mask off, and here it was my friend Kim's dad. And he's like, what? You're not going to let me in? You're not going to give me any candy? And my wife's like, oh, my God. She said you, and she just gets mad. But I'm like, Halloween brings back such cool memories for me. I loved it. And to this day, like this coming weekend is my buddy's party. I go every year. He decorates his house. God bless his wife. They literally change every room in their house to fit whatever motif that he's doing. And he's doing an 80s Halloween theme this year. That's I'm fun. Like, I've got the perfect costume for that. Now, I've gone as Jason many times because of my fandom, but I found the Nintendo Jason costume. So it's literally, it's annoying.
It's like 8-bit?
So there's the mask. Because they colored him blue and purple because they couldn't make him the actual colors. So I got this. I got a purple button-down shirt. I got purple sweats. And then I have a sign. A buddy of mine gave me this idea. He's like, Joe, take the screenshot from he said, and he sent it to me. On it, it has a Nintendo script, and it'll say, "You and your friends are dead." Something or else underneath. Nice. So I'm getting the print team in my Staples to print it for me, and I'm going to hang it around my neck.
That's awesome.
And then I have the game music and stuff like that. And then I found this in Spirit Halloween. So it's the video game colored axe that goes with it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So, but I love this season. I absolutely love Halloween. Love it.
Yeah. So my wife and child do also. Not that I don't like it, but Christmas is my favorite. They love Halloween.
Christmas is great too. I mean, how can you not like Christmas? It's except for the Mariah Carey stuff I could do without. But
sure.
But yeah, how can you not like Christmas? But yeah, no, I appreciate
tension in our home about when do you start playing the Christmas music.
I in my store the other day, and I was shocked. Was it 3 days ago or so, and the music that they play throughout the plaza because it plays in every store. Christmas song came on. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's not even Halloween yet. Like, what are you doing?
I think November 1st is the correct answer, but
yeah.
But my wife wants to wait until after Thanksgiving.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that was always the time when my family put up the tree. Was like the week after Thanksgiving or the weekend after Thanksgiving, because everybody was usually home and stuff like that. And that was always the time we put up our tree and stuff. So Christmas is great. I mean, it's, when you have, how old's your son? Is it
13?
13. Okay. Yeah. So he's past the age of the belief at this point. Yeah.
Kind of always has been, but played along because it was fun. But I don't know. Yeah. I found that to be a very hard decision as a parent. But I opted for honesty. So from the beginning, we were pretty open about that.
Yeah, it's a sad thing when you have to do that.
I didn't want to break his heart one day.
Yeah. It's a rite of passage, and it's like, once you find out, I found out about it in a bad way. My mom told me once. She's like, do you remember when you snuck upstairs into the attic and you found all the gifts that I packaged up and they were hidden in the back? I'm like, I do. And she said, yeah, that was very bad. She said, you ruined it on yourself. And I said, curiosity, I couldn't help it. I knew there was something up there. But Christmas is this. If it weren't for the snow, I'm not a snow guy anymore. I just don't like it. I've grown up in this area. I live in Northeast PA, and we get a lot of snow up here. So I'm just like, I'm adverse to it. It's more of a nuisance to me now because I have to travel in it and all that kind of stuff and go to work and everything. So, but the holidays are great. I love Christmas.
Yes. Agreed.
So. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for answering the question. I appreciate that. I just wanted to kind of find out like what people loved and what they didn't love as far as Halloween and stuff is concerned. So, all right, let me go here and we're going to talk about Nintendo stuff because Lauren is a big Nintendo fan. I know that from listening to the show. So we have compiled a list of our top Nintendo games. Now, this is from I think I've pretty much owned every system. I had the regular NES when it first came out. I had the Super Nintendo. I had a GameCube. The only one I did not have was an N64. That's the only one I did not have. I've had all the other versions of Nintendo all throughout the years. So my gaming goes back, including the Game Boy. I think I had the first Game Boy, the one with that weird yellow and black blocky screen that they had on there.
And then I got green or something.
Yep. And then I got a Game Boy Color. and stuff like that. So I've had that throughout the years, the DS and all that kind of stuff. And now I don't have the new one. My daughter commandeered my Switch and took it to college with her. So I haven't seen it in months. But I did not get a Switch 2. Did you get a Switch 2? Did you get the new one?
Not yet.
Okay.
I will eventually, but it didn't launch with Smash Bros. So like that's the one for me where it's like I will get that as soon as possible.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
I'll get it eventually. I'm looking forward to playing the new Mario Kart and the new Donkey Kong, but like it's not a big rush.
Yeah, and it's expensive. Yeah, I think it's
that too. Yeah, I got married this year, so like, I was like, Switch 2 can wait.
Yeah, that's well, I mean, the married thing is a lot more important than the Switch 2. Yeah, it was, but they're just getting
a lot more expensive too.
I could certainly see that. My oldest actually just got married last year. Very, very, very lovely wedding that they had. Her and her partner had. It was a fall wedding, which I'd never been to. In all my years, I'd never been to a fall wedding, and it was gorgeous. Got a beautiful day, 70 some degrees, sunny.
I saw some photos, and it looked great.
Oh man, yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, how I know I heard some stories on your pod about it, but how did everything go for you? Everything go really well?
It went great. It was awesome. I don't. I consider myself a romantic person, but also I'm like, I can't believe how expensive that was. And I think we got away with doing it for pretty cheap for 2025. It just seems like a broken industry or something. Like I can't believe it.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would do it the same way, even though it was amazing. It was a great day. I just ask me in a few years when I've recovered financially.
Yeah, sure. I don't blame you. You were lucky years ago when my wife and I got married. Your whole thing was you kind of hope that you kind of recoup a lot of the cost back with your gifts. Yeah. Because a lot of people will just give money, give checks, whatever the case might be. And that's what's kind of hoping you would get. But I can't even imagine. I didn't even discuss, the cost and stuff like that with my daughter and everything like that. Because everything is just way more expensive now. And it's just, I can imagine how
there was
much
some recouping, but like not even half,
Yep.
And that's okay. It was about having making memories, having a big special day, celebrating with the people we love. We got all that.
It. Yep.
My brother officiated the wedding.
That's cool.
My kid was my Reggie of honor.
Yep.
That was the title he chose.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, that's my brother-in-law. My wife's brother was the one who he's a Methodist minister. So he came up and he married them and stuff. And so that was very cool. It was very cool. But yeah, man, if you're paying for reception, you're paying for the food, you're paying for all that. Oh, it's so costly. It's crazy. But yeah, that's
dresses,
awesome.
Photographer, videographer.
Oh yeah. Yep. Like even stuff like the cake and all that kind of stuff. Oh, the venue. Oh. Yeah. It's insane. It's that's a good racket to get into. Yeah. For sure. But all right, so we're going to talk about Nintendo. So I'm going to cut through here and I'm going to go through yours.
You're not going to do yours?
Oh, well, do you want me to start? I could do. I'll start. Sure. I'll go through mine. Okay. So I'm going to go bottom to top. So I will start. I mean, the very first game I ever played for the Nintendo and the very first game that it came with back in the day when they actually came with games, Super Mario Brothers. I can't tell you how many times I spent hours trying to make that jump to that little tiny block in the middle of the end and then get myself backwards and then try that little quick run and jump to the next thing, and how many times I died. Over and over and over and over again. One of the few games I think, honestly, well, I shouldn't say few because there's probably a good list of them now. But one of the games that I beat like back then, where the other game systems that I had, and I go back to now. I never had an Atari. My friend did, but I had an Intellivision system back then, which was kind of their competitor. That my dad bought me. But even going back to then, games were hard. and they were very difficult to beat.
You didn't save your progress. You started over from the beginning.
It's hilarious that you mentioned that, because I remember my youngest was, because I had I got the membership thing with Nintendo where you could play a lot of these old games on your newer consoles.
Oh yeah.
So I remember her going through there the one day, and she's like, I'm going to play Mario. And I remember sitting there and I was kind of grinning to myself, and I'm watching her play. And she goes through, she misses a jump, she dies. She goes through again, she dies. She goes through again, and all of a sudden she's like, well, what do I do? I said, what do you mean, what do you do? She goes, well, I died. I'm like, yeah. And she goes, well, does it start from where I was? I'm like, oh no. I said, you go back, you start over. She's like, are you kidding me? I said, absolutely. She goes, forget this. I'm not playing this anymore. And I'm like, see what kind of stuff we went through when we were kids? I said, she's like, I can't believe that they do that. That's ridiculous. I'm like, that is how games were. I said, when you go to the arcade, why do you think you'd pump quarters into the game? Is because you would die and you'd have to keep going. I said, so this is how it was. But what a great game. I mean, just a 2D side scroller. I remember when the first time was, I discovered when you could go down a pipe and you go this and it would take you down into a different level and stuff like that. I mean, it was just such a really well done game. Mm-hmm. And this stemmed from an arcade game. There was an actual arcade game with the Mario Brothers in it. Very different though. It had the pipes and stuff in it, but there wasn't the boards and all that.
Turtles.
Yeah. But still to this day, I could sit and I could play this and I could still get enjoyment out of it. Now, the newer ones are so much more involved. I mean, you can hop now to the back of the screen and do something in the back of the board. I'm like, really? Like you go I'm like, all right, you're just showing off now, like with that kind of stuff. But it's like, but yeah, this is where it all started, and I absolutely love this game.
Yeah, I love this game too. I didn't own an NES growing up. My first system, well, okay, my dad had a Game Boy that I played on a lot, and I've had every portable since.
Okay, yeah.
But my first like home console was the N64, and I've had every one since.
Okay.
Not the Switch 2 yet, but up to the Switch 2.
Yep.
And yeah, but I got to play this, at like when my mom was at the chiropractor, like he had one, or like, at my friend's house. Like I got to play a lot of NES and Super Nintendo, and yeah, I love this game. It's very good.
Yeah, me too. My next one, I mean, you see, when this first came out, they made a Friday the 13th and they made a Nightmare on Elm Street game. They were games made by LJN. LJN was big on getting branded stuff. So there was a Spider-Man game that they did. There was they somehow LJN got all like the name brand stuff. Honestly, though, when I look back at this is one of the worst games ever made. It literally is terrible. It is awful. It is so hard to play and so confusing that I can remember just sitting with it and I'm like, what the heck do you even do? And there was nothing. You were lucky back in the day, and I remember buying some of them. Nintendo Power, the magazine.
Yeah.
I would get the Nintendo Power magazines because they'd have strategy guides. Mm-hmm. And that was the only place you could really find them. They weren't making them for all these games in the past like they do now. You get strategy
guides. You can just go look it up online, yeah.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you don't even need to buy the guide anymore. Yeah, right. But the gist of it is there's a campground. You have this little guy who's a camp counselor. He walks around the camp, and at random times, all of a sudden, you'll hear this siren going off, and that tells you that one of your friends or one of the counselors is being attacked by Jason. So then you have to run around the camp, and you have to find all this stuff. The first thing you got to find is weapons. Well, the first weapon you get is a rock. You literally have a rock to throw. And I'm like, well, that's fantastic. Because he's going to throw a rock at Jason. Okay, yeah, that's going to do. So you'd have rocks to throw. Then as you go along, you would get a knife. Then as you go even further, you'd get an axe and all this kind of stuff. But you go around and you try to save the other counselors. So when you'd hear this alarm, you'd go into a tent, and then you'd get inside there, and they would say, well, Jason's not here or something like that. But then you'd go, and then there'd be times when you would encounter him. When you are inside, all of a sudden his health bar will come up, and your whole gist of it is you're standing here, he's standing on the other side of you, and he's much, much bigger than you are. And you must dodge his attacks. So, of course, like all the games back then, there was a pattern. So you'd see him go and he'd swipe at you. You'd have to dodge to the left. He'd swipe at you. You'd have to dodge to the right. And you'd have to cut. The problem is his health bar was so huge that you'd have to dodge, hit, and it would take you forever just to get it down, and then he would run away. And then you'd have to meet him again in another place, and then in another place, and then all this. And I got to the very end.
Oh, wow.
Where he had 2 bars of health. And I'm like, I remember sitting, and I wasn't
sweating.
I literally was. I wasn't even at my house then. I was at a friend's house playing it, and I'm sitting there, and I'm repeating the pattern. I'm like, okay, I got this. And I'm going, and I'm going, and I'm going. I get the whole 1 bar down. So 1 bar is gone, and I'm still going. Now, at this point, my hands are starting to get tired, because I'm pressing the same button over and over and over. And I get them down about 3/4 of the way of the second bar. And I'm like you were saying, I'm sweating. I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I can't move my fingers anymore. And I'm doing it. And then next thing you know, he hits me. I die. That was the last time I ever tried to beat it. I'm like, nope. I'm never doing this again. And I'm like, it was so frustrating because I never beat it. I watched people play it, and they go through it like nothing now. Like, they'll go, there's a guy that went through it and he finished it in 15 minutes.
Speedrunners.
Yeah.
What a delightful story, though. Is this on the original Nintendo?
It is.
The NES? Okay.
Yeah. They had a lot of licensed games back then. A lot of them were very fun, but boy, were they hard. Another one that was out wasn't a hard game, but it's a Batman. So Michael Keaton's Batman, they adapted to an NES game. Another one, so hard to beat. I remember getting to the Joker, and Jack Nicholson's Joker in that movie, and he had a long pistol that had the really long barrel, and he'd be like they're shooting at you, and you have to jump over the bullets and get up to him and hit him and then jump back, and it was oh my god, the people don't get it. Like, these games were so hard to beat. But yeah, this one drove me crazy, and I still have this. I don't have an old Nintendo anymore, but a friend of mine literally went, and I think she did it as a joke, but she bought this for me. She found it somewhere, and she gave it to me for Christmas one year.
That's great.
Yeah. So I have it, and literally sitting in, I think I have it in a cabinet or something up there, but I still have it, and have yet to beat it. One of these days, I just really should. I should just get an old system, and I should just play it and just try to beat it once and for all. But I remember getting it and seeing it and thinking to myself, what? And then after I played it, I'm like, what did I do to myself? This is nothing like what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, I mean, it's Friday the 13th, so of course I had to get it. But so that is my number 4. My number 3. For the SNES, which to this day I think is honestly one of my favorite systems, and mostly because of
so many good games.
Oh my god! And the RPGs, which I grew to be such a big fan of, stemming from another game that's number 1 on my list actually. But I can sit with these things and just play them and play them and play them and play them, and we got the thing down for these like right off the bat. We knew that we'd have to go out and do the most boring thing that you want to do. You want to advance the game, but you have to go out and you have to level up. You have to get your characters at a high enough level so that when you get advanced in the game, you can beat it easier because now you're ready to. So that's what we did. We just go around, we get into random battles. But but I can remember these were fun because my friends would be over. And it's the weirdest thing. They would never play. I would sit there and play, but they would just sit there and watch. And they'd get as much entertainment out of watching the story advance than they would actually playing the game. And Secret of Mana, with the graphics on the SNES, coming from where the NES was, one of my all-time favorite games. I think they remade this recently. Yeah. And I remember going back and looking at it, and I'm like, wow. But it just brings back a lot of memories from. This is one of those ones where I'd literally stay up until the sun would come up. I'd be up playing this until 3, 4, 5. The sun would be coming up outside in the morning. I'd be here playing it, and I couldn't put it down. That's awesome. It's kind of always been my thing with RPGs. I will play them through until I beat them and until I get every single thing I possibly can. Nowadays, it's a lot harder. Because they're so extensive and so big. I remember playing Final Fantasy Remake, and I think the second part of it, and I could not believe the amount of stuff there was in that game. But yeah,
very demanding on your time.
Yes, yeah, no doubt, hundreds and hundreds of hours now in some of those games. But yeah, I always loved this, and one of my favorites on the SNES. Pro wrestling. I mean, I've always been a wrestling fan, but this just was. I don't know. The game was just so goofy. And again, it was just a pattern game. It had nothing to do really with skill. It was timing. You were inside of a ring. My favorite character in it was this dude that wore a mask, and they just called him Starman. And he had a purple outfit, like a whole purple outfit on it. He had a big star in his face, and he was my favorite character to use. But I think this just came because of my fandom of pro wrestling and how I kind of grew up watching it. But I always loved this. And this is one that this one came with the system back in the day. So you would either get it with the system or you get Mario with the system. But this is one that actually came with the system. And I can remember that's why I liked it. But again, this was another one that was just hard to beat. You'd go through one wrestler after another. You would advance to the next highest one. And then the big one in the game was called Great Puma, was the name of the wrestler that like had the title, and you had to beat him in order to get the title. But it was all very patterned. You'd have to do certain things to them to beat him. And I remember I got to Great Puma once, and he just kicked my butt. And I'm like, yep, okay, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. It took me too long to get here, and So, but yeah, this was just one of those sports games that I really enjoyed. And then this just started it all. I have fond memories of going to buy this in a KB toy store when I was maybe, 11 or 12, saving up my money because this game cost $100 because it was one of the first games that had a battery in it for saving. Yeah. It came with a little watch battery that you could save the game to, because before that you couldn't do that. And I can just remember, inside the box it had a map. So there's a big map in there that would tell you where to go. I actually subscribed to Nintendo Power because Nintendo Power had a walkthrough for like the first maybe 4 levels or something like that. And the cool thing with this is another one of those games where my 2 friends that I grew up with, we would sit and I would sit and play this. They would watch me. They would tell me or kind of direct me as to what to do and all that kind of stuff. And we would be playing this for days and days and days to advance the story and to see where the story went. But this blew my mind. I had never seen a game like this. The television that I had some role-playing stuff, but it was very, very different. And you had stuff on my friend Kim, that was my best friend, had an Apple IIe computer back then. So she was playing like the first person back when they were first person RPGs, where you would walk through doorways and you just see the end of the doorway and then the monster would be at the end. Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, but this was, and probably to this day, now granted, the other ones in the series, I think of all of them, my favorite one is probably 10. I just loved the story. Absolutely loved it and just got caught up in it. 7's obviously fantastic. 6 was very good. There's not really any of them that I didn't like. But yeah, Final Fantasy just became a thing for me, and I've loved it ever since. And it was one of the reasons why I bought the systems and stuff back in the day. So that is my number 1. We're going to go to Lauren's. Now, I don't know how you gave these 2, or if I have these in the right order. So
let's do them in ascending order.
Okay.
This is my honorary mention.
Okay.
There's honestly, it's very hard for me to pick because, the best NES game is very different from the best GameCube game. Yep. The way that they've aged. And so I tried to add a little bit of context to them. But anyway, Wario's Woods, I had to have some honorary mention for an older game. This is an NES game that came out, I think, after the Super Nintendo already came out. This is the very last NES game. But it is, if you haven't played it, it is a match 3, I think it's actually a match 4, but it's a match 3 type game.
Okay.
Where you control Toad inside the window. And so it's almost a platformer where you are around there, physically picking up and moving around the blocks.
Oh, okay.
I have played this to the final level where it starts with, the screen is full all the way up to here and you have 2 rows of space and you have to solve the puzzle. I have beaten the last level of this game. I absolutely love this game, and no other puzzle game makes me feel as smart. Something about it just clicks for me. You pick up an entire stack and you put some pieces down to the left and some pieces down to the right, and you're sorting them as fast as you can. It's just very fun, very clever little puzzle game.
That's awesome. Yeah. I don't think I ever played it. That's cool. I'll have to check it out.
Fun. I think you could play either that or this Super Nintendo version on the Nintendo Switch Online.
Okay.
Gotta ask my kid to let the dog out real quick.
Yeah, no, take your time.
Thanks. Okay, Animal Crossing. This is the newest version, the Switch version that came out with the perfect timing with COVID. Where my wife and played this. My wife and I played this together. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
played this with my child and my brother, who my brother stayed with us for the first few months of COVID. Okay. And we put in hundreds of hours into this, and it just came at the perfect time. But I have always had a soft spot for Animal Crossing.
Yep.
The first English version of the game was on the GameCube, and I remember sneaking our 8-inch portable TV, and portable, but it was heavy.
It was a gigantic portable TV,
it by the side of my bed because I could not wait to play the game. But it just has like a real-time component, and it's a cozy game before those became really popular.
Yep.
And it's super charming.
Yeah, I love this series. I really did, and I couldn't believe how much I did. It's just the simplest little thing, but I don't know what it was. It was it's kind of almost like a relaxing game to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like you walk around, you buy your furniture, you put the stuff in your house.
Very low stakes.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was so. But and then you would see and the family all got involved. Like my wife liked it, and my wife's not a big gamer, but my wife enjoyed it. She was decorating her house the way she wanted. My daughter was doing that. But yeah, just such a well-made game. And then you go fishing, and I can remember the first time my wife caught that huge fish that cost $10,000 when you go sell it back into and she's like, oh my God. And there I see him and I'm watching her, and she's pulling out, and she's like, oh my God, look at this huge fish. And I'm like, yeah, it was just it's like I said, very simple premise, but no, you're right. And I can remember, like you, we picked this up, right before COVID, actually, I think I got it sent to her. I might have had it sent to the house during COVID because, it was obviously a time everybody wants to forget. But, this was definitely a thing that we were doing during a lot of that time.
The game would have done well anyway, but definitely
no doubt.
Just happened to come out at the right time that was perfect for it.
Yep.
The cozy game that you could play with people online.
Yep.
Perfect.
I can imagine there'll be another one coming soon. This is a big franchise for them, so they're probably definitely going to end up having another one.
There's usually one per system, so there should be a Switch 2 one.
Yep, yeah, I would think so. All right, up next,
Paper Mario 1000-Year Door. This is the second entry, but kind of the last one that was like a full-blown RPG, like Mario and the Seven Stars. Like they've done some other Paper Mario since, but they twisted the genre. Anyway, this game is both very fun, good RPG elements, and does the live action timing. You make your move stronger by timing, hitting the A button or whatever. But also the writing in this is so funny.
Yep.
So this one barely edges out the N64 one for me, but just one that I played to the end and just enjoyed the entire way.
It's great when you could find and that's, I think, why I like RPGs so much too, is you really just want to finish the game. And there's not a lot of games that are like that. But yeah, Paper Mario was always great. I remember when I first saw it, I'm like, what is this? And it kind of just intrigued me as to what it was. And then I saw it was an RPG. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to enjoy this. But yeah, this is a great one. I love the pick. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, adjacent to the Paper Mario series, on the portables, they did the Mario and Luigi series, which were also turn-based RPGs that had platforming elements and timing elements, and also very funny writing. So
okay, yeah.
All the Mario RPGs, they're pretty good, at least up to 1000-Year Door. It gets fuzzy after that.
Yes.
Had to pick a Zelda game. It could have been Majora's Mask. It could have been Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. But Wind Waker is the one that I remember just it felt the most magical. Something about the cel-shaded world and cruising around the ocean. I don't know. This is this and Majora's Mask are the only Zelda games I've 100%ed.
Okay. Yeah.
Using an old Nintendo Power Strategy guide.
Oh yes. Love it. Yep.
But yeah, just the combat was good. The everything in this game is so magical, and I've seen people play it, like, emulating it in modern days, and it still looks great. I mean, I guess Wii U had a remake of it also, but it still looks great. And this is one of the things I love about Nintendo, is when everybody else is trying to make things as realistic as possible, Nintendo's like, no, what if we had style? And
Yes.
even though the GameCube is like 3 systems old at this point, 4, it still looks beautiful today because of how stylish the cel-shaded cartoony art is and how expressive the characters are. Like, I still remember, like, solving puzzles because I would stop and look where Link's eyes look. Like, how cool
that's
is
cool.
that?
Yeah, that's awesome. The GameCube to me, I think, was underrated.
Absolutely.
I played an RPG for this called Skies of Arcadia.
I love Skies of Arcadia.
Oh my God, do I wish they would remake that game.
I can't believe they haven't.
I know. And the ship fighting in the air and stuff when you do the turn-based.
So cool.
I loved it. It was one of my favorite. And the game, I remember I was working with a guy who had an emulator of it, but he was saying that he bought an original copy, and I couldn't believe the price. It was like $3,000 or $4,000, I think. That he said it was insane. And I'm like,
that's crazy.
And now I wish I would have kept it after all those years. But it was one of my favorite. The other game that I had on this that I literally rented, but it freaked me out, was Eternal Darkness. It was a horror game. I was too young.
I never played it.
Oh man,
I've heard it's phenomenal.
The game messes with your head.
Yeah.
Like I can remember, I'm sitting there playing it, and you have your character has like a fear meter, and if the fear meter starts going up, which I wasn't really paying attention to, then all of a sudden freaky things will start to happen. And I remember all of a sudden
start moving.
Yeah. Well, my TV, like I got a screen up on this thing that said your Nintendo is overheating. Something like that. And that was built into the game.
Yeah.
I'm like, I had
or
no
it would
idea.
act like it like wiped your memory card.
Yeah. Oh, it was such a good. The GameCube was such a good system. I really remember that fondly. But yeah, this Zelda. I remember the way that this looked. I didn't have this. My cousin did, but I remember that, like you were saying about the looks of this game. Oh, it gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous game for the time that it was made. But yeah, I love the GameCube. Still one of my favorites to this day.
The story for Wind Waker is so epic and everything like that.
Yes.
I do love the GameCube. I think the GameCube controller might be the best controller that's ever been designed. It's so goofy, but it's like clearly made for human hands. Like the most important buttons are the biggest ones.
Yep. Ergonomic. Yep.
It's a great controller. Anyway.
Yep.
Pokemon. I have played all of the Pokemon generations except for the Sun and Moon. I don't know why I didn't play those. I just didn't. It wasn't the right time or something. But nowadays, I'll put a couple, like a couple dozen hours into one. But when I was a kid, I poured hundreds of hours into these. Yep. And if you don't know, Silver is from the second generation. So there was Red and Blue, and then there was Gold and Silver. And I literally put at least 500 hours into Blue version. But then I go into Silver, and this is before, somehow this was a well-kept secret that the entire world of Red and Blue is contained in this game. You beat the Elite Four, and you open up the entire world of Red and Blue, and all of a sudden, the game gets twice as big, and it's unbelievable. It's a huge feat of engineering, too. If you ever look into that story, it's incredible. It's like the later president of Nintendo actually optimized the code, so they needed him to optimize it for what they wanted to put into the game, and he optimized it so well that they could fit the entire Red and Blue world in also.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
So that's why I picked this one. It's just for that absolutely mind-blowing moment when you realize, holy shit, they attached Kanto to this too, not just Johto. I thought I was finishing the game, but now there's tons of it ahead of me.
All this more. Wow.
Such a cool game.
Yeah. I never got into Pokemon very much, but I had heard, and I didn't know what kind of game it was, and that's probably why I didn't. But so many people I know had loved all the, and I can remember when I was in a lot of the electronic stores that I ended up working in throughout the years. Oh my God, you'd have lines outside the door.
Oh yeah. It's a very successful franchise.
Oh my gosh, crazy! Yeah, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, you might have liked them. The very JRPG-ish. Smash Bros. I think it has to be here partially because I am such a Nintendo fangirl, and this is like Smash Bros. Is the love letter to Nintendo.
Yeah,
There's
it is.
So much love and care that goes into it.
Yeah.
I played so much of the N64 and Melee version of the GameCube version of this game, that maybe those should be here too. But I remember when Ultimate had the trailer for it, and they revealed that every character that had been in previous versions of the game was going to be in this one, and just how unbelievable that felt. Like, really? They got Snake back? Really? They're using both Young Link and Toon Link? They're bringing back Squirtle and Ivysaur after cutting them? Like, just so excited. This game literally has, I think, 96 or 97 fighters, and they all have completely different... I shouldn't say they all. There's a couple that have similar movesets, but mostly they have completely unique movesets. Sakurai, who designs this game, does a phenomenal job of translating characters who are not from fighting games into fighting game characters.
That's what's crazy about it. Yeah, amazing. They're not dedicated like fighters. So to make that, these games are always fun. Yeah.
Yep. So it's a very good party game. And then something I would be remiss to skip saying is my brother is 11 years younger than me. And Smash Bros. Is video games in general, but Smash Bros. Especially is like, that's how I bonded with my brother, who we have this large age gap, and still to this day, he's much better than me now. But still to this day, we get together and play Smash Bros. Or Smash Bros. Like games. I always call him the best player that I can beat, because we've played for 20 years against each other, and so I have him somewhat downloaded. I know some of his patterns. I can beat him, even though I cannot beat players who are worse than him.
Oh, it's great, man. That's why I like talking about a lot of this stuff, because it brings back memories for me. It's like a nostalgia in a sense, and I mean, these games kind of define you a little bit as to who you are, and some of the things that you grew up to. And sometimes it was just an escape. It would just get you away from stuff. And that's why I would find like the RPGs, because I could just go, I could delve into a different world. I'd be but yeah, it's awesome. Nintendo's been amazing through the years, and just to see what they're doing with it now, and all the new stuff that they're incorporating into it, and what the games look like. I tell people, like, I'll never forget the experiences I had being in arcades, going in arcades when I was a kid. And just taking, my mom would give me $5-10 and I would just go and throw all those quarters into machines. And it was a blast. And it was such a cool time back then, where you can go and do that and stuff like that. And now it's all at home. You can get all that stuff right from your home, and it's great. Like you brought up with your brother, the memories and stuff like that I have, playing with my friends, bonding with my kids. I remember we were playing the game with Sackboy on the PlayStation.
Little Big Planet.
Yes. My oldest and I would bond with that game. We play that all the time. And then, so it's just awesome. And there's just so many memories that are attributed to all these things, and special to people in some ways. So I love it. I appreciate you sharing your list. It's great. Brings back so many memories for me too, that I absolutely love it. And Nintendo's a great system. It still is. You can have the great graphics that you're going to see on the Xboxes and the PlayStations and stuff like that. But they when it comes right down to it, it still is one of the best systems that's out there. And no matter if the graphics aren't equivalent, it just kind of tells you don't always have to have like the top like 4D graphics and all that kind of stuff to make a good game. So
gameplay is king.
Yes,
and don't get me wrong, I can appreciate a gorgeous game, but
absolutely, yeah.
But the games that are like really good gameplay, they're still fun 25 years later.
100%. Yeah, 100%. A lot of these I can definitely go back to. That's why a lot of them they get remade over and over again, or redone over and over again with different graphics and stuff. So awesome. Well, Lauren, look, I've kept you longer than you would ask to be kept, so I'm not going to keep you right, because it's getting late. But listen, tell everybody about your podcast really quickly. I talk about it all the time, but tell everybody about your pod and how they can find you. I know you guys are pretty accessible and stuff on Discord, so yeah.
Snap on This is the name of the pod. we do. I like to think the first half of the show is a very typical Snap show where we're covering the latest releases and upcoming cards and just kind of like reviewing the meta, talking about game mode, stuff like that. In the second half of the show, we get a little silly. Sometimes we play games, or every episode we have what's called secret homework, where we have an assignment for each other. Sometimes it's designing a card. Sometimes it's making a deck with certain restrictions. Sometimes it's making a recommendation for Spooky Month. This week, the challenge, the secret homework, is to read a comic not from Marvel or DC.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So that was assigned to us by Scott when he was guesting on.
That's right. Yeah, you had Scott on there this week. Yeah, so I did hear
fun.
That. That's awesome.
Ben and Ree used to be very active in the community, like back when it was on Twitter only.
Yeah. Yep.
And they've kind of faded in the distance a little bit, but they are both very intelligent Snap players who are much better at the game than I am. Some of that is that we play in different ways, but still. The reason I bring that up is like our podcast is the only place where you can really get a lot of Ben and Ree, and so I think that they are both special people. And if you're in, if you're into the chemistry, that's what you stay for, right? Like you might start a podcast because it covers Marvel Snap, but you stay for the chemistry. You stay for the host or whoever you're, become attached to in a sense.
Yep.
So I think we have a lot of fun, and I hope that translates through.
Oh, absolutely.
I also do lots of guides and rankings and writing about Snap, all that on my own. Sometimes on Marvel Snap Zone, but almost always on Twitter or Blue Sky. Lauren Whatevs. Yeah.
Lauren is the go-to for anything math-wise in this game.
True, and I'm very willing to ask or to answer questions if you have them. My DMs are open. You can find me on Discord too. Yep.
There you go. Awesome.
I just love the game and I love talking about it.
Yeah, same here. It grabbed me because of the Marvel IP, obviously, but I dig it because it's quick to play and stuff like that, and just the way that they designed it, they did a very good job. I think overall, listen, we all complain. We're all going to have things that kind of turn us off and don't with games, but when it comes right down to it, when you're devoting your time like Lauren, Ree, and Ben are, myself, and Glazer, of course, to do content about something, more than likely you like it. So
at the end of the day.
Yeah. So, well, Lauren, thank you so much. Guys, make sure you go and check out that podcast. Obviously, it is part of the Snap Judgments League that I am, of course, in as well. So, yeah, definitely check out Snap on this. I listen to it every week on my way down to work and back. It's a very, very fun listen, and it's fun to hear all the other stuff that I learned a lot about Hades. Just by listening to your podcast and all this.
And likes talking about Hades. Ree loves talking about comics. She's very well versed.
Yeah. Ree's read a lot of comics, which is cool. I think Ree is also into synthwave music. I think I heard on your show, which I'm like, yes, all right, I dig that.
She's also got some kind of cinema, movie background, film school, something.
Yeah, that's
she awesome. Can talk about movies much better than I can.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, and I've had past episodes where they were all on the show. So maybe we'll have to do that again sometime. I'll grab all four of you at some point and bring everybody on it again at one point. But yeah. All right. Well, Lauren, thank you so much. And guys, thank you for listening. Please make sure that if you are checking this out on the YouTube, that you subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and also leave some comments. And obviously, of course, head over to Blue Sky and also X, where myself and Lauren both are there. So you can follow us there. You can obviously ask or answer questions and things there as well. This will be available, obviously, on my YouTube channel for the first, probably couple days, and then I'll make it available on audio as well, so you guys that are listening to the pod on audio every week can hear it as also. So, all right. So that is going to do it for this episode of Snap Decisions. Thank you so much for listening, wherever you may be doing that, and I hopefully will see you all on the next episode of Snap Decisions. Check out my audio pod. That is already out. I put that out a little bit earlier today, where I did a I did a tribute. Obviously, I'm a big Kiss fan. You guys that know me know that. And of course, Ace Frehley passing away. I did a tribute on the pod today that went a little over kind of what I wanted it to, but I kind of had to get some stuff there, that I wanted to say. So check that out. That's out there on Spotify and Apple and all those good places that you listen to the pod. So go check that out when you get the chance. And again, thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you on the next one. And this is your Snap DJ signing off.
If only I